Imagine if one day, your own shadow suddenly betrayed you and vanished without a trace. This guy was just chilling after a win when he realized the ground beneath him was empty. His shadow literally detached itself and bolted. Panicked, he scours the bathroom, praying his eyes are just playing tricks on him. But then, a pitch-black entity with glowing eyes appears right behind him, leaving him frozen in shock. Instead of freaking out, he decides to train this weird shadow with grueling daily push-ups and planks. In no time, he completely transforms, gaining a shredded physique and insane strength, while the shadow acts like the ultimate partner, pumping iron on its own and constantly leveling up his stats. It all peaks when they touch hands and fuse, unleashing a surge of dark energy that consumes his entire body. Armed with the shadow possession skill, he's now ready to dive into the heat of battle and crush any monster in his way with overwhelming power. It all started a few days ago.
Jiang Yu presses a hand to his temple, his golden eyes filled with discomfort as he remarks that his vision feels strange. He continues to describe his unsettling symptom, explaining that a pervasive red layer now covers everything he sees. Dr. Xiao listens intently, his expression grave as the implications of Jiang Yu's symptoms begin to sink in. Dr. Xiao abruptly asks Jiang Yu about his age, as a mysterious, pixelated red energy construct glows ominously in the air. Dr. Xiao's frustration boils over, his expression contorted as he internally questions if Jiang Yu is even in the correct apartment for his bizarre symptoms. Dr. Xiao's line of questioning becomes even stranger, asking Jiang Yu if he consumes alcohol, to which Jiang Yu responds with a bewildered "now." Jiang Yu simply shakes his head, his eyes closed, clearly exasperated by the line of questioning. Dr. Xiao, unable to concentrate amidst the strange conversation, cuts himself off and declares he will personally examine Jiang Yu with his own eyes. Jiang Yu observes a bustling hallway where every individual is now overlaid with a system interface displaying their health percentage, all tinted in a disturbing red hue. As Jiang Yu walks down the corridor, he internally questions the practical use of his newfound ability to perceive a blood layer over everything. A holographic display flickers to life, revealing a chaotic scene of skeletal, green glowing creatures emerging from a massive pit confronting a lone warrior below. Holographic screen shifts, displaying 3 stern-faced individuals in uniform as a system message announces the Night Patrol Department's new recruitment drive to bolster street patrols for public safety. Jiang Yu contemplates the implications of the recruitment drive, deciding it's better to think about it carefully after going home. As he walks through the vibrant city streets, he suddenly pauses, a subtle hum escaping his lips as something catches his attention. His gaze drops, a cigarette dangling from his lips as a flicker of concern crosses his expression. Sudden, intense light erupts from below, illuminating Jiang Yu's profile as his eyes narrow in realization. Suddenly, Jiang Yu finds himself on a dark, corrupted ground, surrounded by swirling green energy and dark particles. A system message flashes, dictating his next objective. Tonight we're gonna eat what? We're gonna eat hot pot, maybe. A fierce female warrior, her eyes burning with a golden glow, lunges at Jiang Yu, a blade extended, as he recoils in shock amidst the chaotic green energy. Female warrior engages a monstrous blue entity midair, her attacks precise and powerful, while Jiang Yu observes the intense system battle unfold from below, noting the damage percentages. Jiang Yu's eyes widen in alarm, his thoughts racing as he admits, this problem seems a bit difficult. A colossal health bar, displaying an overwhelming 99999999999 HP, hovers above a pulsating green orb, signifying an immense challenge. Staring up at the glowing green orb, Jiang Yu wryly remarks, "You can start panicking now." Luminous, teardrop-shaped core, intricately patterned, shines brightly against a swirling vortex of green and gold energy. Multiple luminous cores descend rapidly through the sprawling cityscape, casting an eerie glow amidst the pervasive green energy. Jiang Yu gazes up at the towering city buildings, now marred with cracks and bathed in an unnatural green light, a silent witness to the unfolding chaos. Jiang Yu stands calmly, eyes closed, faint golden energy swirling around his head, as if in deep concentration. Then, he is back on a busy city crosswalk, surrounded by everyday life. Pedestrians rush past, one fretting, "We're going to be late," while a child exclaims over a delicious sugar-coated hawthorn, and an adult warns, "You keep an eye out for the way." Jiang Yu remains on the bustling crosswalk, observing the ordinary city life. Around him, a child delights in a sugar-coated hawthorn while a parent cautions them, "You keep an eye out for the way." As Jiang Yu stands amidst the urban flow, a man advises an elder, "Old man, be careful and watch your step." A child points him out, saying, "Mom, that handsome uncle is standing here foolishly." Meanwhile, system prompts declare that during the Great Cataclysm 99 years ago, the Night Patrol Bureau was always the solid support for the citizens, and reassuringly, our world is getting better and better, and our city is incredibly safe. Jiang Yu continues his walk, a profound question echoing in his mind. Is our city really as safe as we think it is? As the sun sets over the city, casting long shadows, the ominous health bar reappears in the sky. Jiang Yu's internal monologue continues, questioning, or is all of this just a carefully crafted lie? A hand carefully holds a small, ornate key. Down on the street, an old vendor approaches Jiang Yu, asking, "Brother, do you want to buy medicine?" Jiang Yu responds with a confused huh. As the vendor insists, the medicine from the printing factory is exactly the same as the genuine medicine. Sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in fiery hues, yet the looming health bar persists above the city. Jiang Yu's doubt deepens, wondering, or is all of this just a carefully crafted lie? A delicate, key-like object is held firmly. The old vendor persists in his offer to Jiang Yu, repeating, "Brother, do you want to buy medicine?" Jiang Yu, still slightly perplexed, utters a simple huh. The vendor continues to assure him the medicine from the printing factory is exactly the same as the genuine medicine. Jiang Yu, with a playful glint in his eye, asks the vendor, "Are you giving them away for free?" The vendor, clearly annoyed, retorts, "If you don't buy it now, you'll regret it. And besides, where are the monsters?" Jiang Yu quickly apologizes, "Hey, big brother, don't be so angry. I was just joking." Before changing his tune, do you sell divine oil?" Jiang Yu's eyes sparkle with eager anticipation, transforming into a chibi form as he grins widely at the mention of divine oil. A city bus rolls past on the street. Inside, Jiang Yu contemplates the exorbitant price, thinking, selling a bottle of divine oil for 3,000 is too much. Don't blame me if I report him to the police station. But then, a new thought crosses his mind. But then again, Jiang Yu looks out the bus window at the passing street, internally questioning his own heightened paranoia in what appears to be a perfectly normal urban landscape. Having disembarked, Jiang Yu playfully asks an old street vendor if his goods are free. The vendor, visibly irritated, retorts, emphasizing the urgency of buying and questioning the absence of monsters, prompting Jiang Yu to quickly apologize and then inquire about divine oil. Chibi representation of Jiang Yu's excitement flashes across the screen, his eyes wide with stars, clearly intrigued by the mention of divine oil. Back on the bus, Jiang Yu reflects on the vendor's exorbitant price for divine oil, deeming 3,000 too much and considering reporting him. Yet, a new thought immediately gives him pause. Jiang Yu once again observes the ordinary street outside the bus window, his mind still struggling with the strange events and his own inexplicable paranoia. Bus stop sign, displaying various route numbers, signals an approaching stop as the evening sky casts a warm glow. An announcement declares their arrival at Huanan Road, prompting passengers to prepare for disembarkation. Jiang Yu looks up, his expression serious as he processes the information. Jiang Yu stands up, ready to exit the bus, his gaze distant as if still pondering the bizarre encounter with the street vendor. Close-up on Jiang Yu's profile reveals a thoughtful, slightly troubled expression, his eyes fixed on something unseen. Still on the bus, Jiang Yu wonders if his recent experiences are merely hallucinations, a hint of unease crossing his face. He continues his internal monologue, questioning if the strange sensations he's feeling are part of a second growth spurt, his expression still one of bewilderment. As the bus passes a stop, Jiang Yu acknowledges a persistent pain he's felt, resolving to examine himself thoroughly once he gets home. Dusk settles over the city, casting long shadows on a tall apartment building, marking the arrival at Jiang Yu's residence. Water streams from a showerhead, indicating Jiang Yu's preparations to wash away the day's events and examine his body. Jiang Yu emerges from the shower, a towel wrapped around his waist, revealing a peculiar red, rose-like pattern etched onto his chest, causing him a moment of disorientation. Staring at his reflection in the mirror, Jiang Yu questions the sudden appearance of the strange pattern on his chest, his eyes wide with surprise. Later, amidst towering bookshelves, Jiang Yu examines a device, speculating if it's connected to the mysterious mark and trying to recall where he might have seen it before. A book falls from the shelf, startling Jiang Yu, who reacts with a wide-eyed expression of pure shock, exclaiming in surprise. Suddenly, a vibrant green energy erupts from Jiang Yu's chest, swirling around his body, leaving him bewildered by the unexpected transformation. Overwhelmed by the sudden surge of power, Jiang Yu collapses onto the bathroom floor, green energy still visibly emanating from his body. Writhing in discomfort from the intense heat, Jiang Yu desperately turns the showerhead on himself, attempting to cool his burning body. After dousing himself with water, Jiang Yu lets out a sigh of relief, feeling significantly better as the intense heat subsides. He gazes into the mirror, observing the red pattern on his chest, which now seems to pulse subtly with a faint green light. A system interface appears, displaying 100%, causing Jiang Yu to smile with satisfaction, declaring that this feels much more like it. As Jiang Yu stands, a stark absence is noticeable on the tiled floor. His shadow is completely gone, leaving only a dark, empty space where it should be. Jiang Yu looks down in utter disbelief, his eyes wide with shock as he realizes his shadow has vanished, a chibi version of him screaming in panic. Panicked, Jiang Yu frantically searches the bathroom, contorting his body in various poses, desperately asking if his shadow is hiding somewhere. With a sigh of relief, Jiang Yu finds his shadow, but the day's bizarre occurrences leave him feeling that even its loss wouldn't be surprising at this point. Jiang Yu, now composed and wrapped in a towel, reflects on the refreshing bath, a thoughtful expression on his face as he exits the bathroom, the day's strangeness still lingering. Jiang Yu steps out of the bathroom, only to find the very shadow he had been contemplating now standing before him, a dark, ominous silhouette with piercing white eyes. A shadowy figure looms behind Jiang Yu, its glowing eyes fixed upon him, an unsettling presence that refuses to dissipate. Jiang Yu instinctively recoils, taking a step back from the enigmatic shadow, his mind struggling to comprehend its sudden, tangible existence. With a wry smile, Jiang Yu concedes, muttering, "Okay, fine. I knew it. It's not that simple." The vibrant red energy pulses within his chest, manifesting as green lines across his skin. Jiang Yu wryly notes the good news. His shadow hasn't fled. The bad news? It's undeniably alive. From above, Jiang Yu observes his shadow now flattened on the floor, a system bar indicating 100% in the corner, hinting at its fully charged state. The closed door of the room stands silently, illuminated by a faint, ambient light. Jiang Yu, now dressed, issues a command to the imposing, slender shadow, "Raise your left hand." Shadow immediately complies, raising its left hand, prompting an impressed "Oh, nice" from Jiang Yu. A wide grin spreads across Jiang Yu's face, a bead of sweat on his temple betraying his excitement at the shadow's responsiveness. Jiang Yu observes the shadow's rigid posture, noting its stiff movements as it attempts to follow his command to raise it. Sly, almost devious smile plays on Jiang Yu's lips as he contemplates the shadow's potential. The shadowy figure appears to sweat drop in distress as Jiang Yu watches on with an increasingly mischievous grin. Jiang Yu's next command is clear: dance. The shadow, now bathed in vibrant purple laser lights, contorts into a dynamic, if somewhat forced, dance. Clutching his head, Jiang Yu groans, "My head is buzzing," as he questions the sudden, inexplicable appearance of this shadowy entity, asking, how did this thing suddenly appear out of nowhere? A sudden surge of blue energy emanates from Jiang Yu's hand, startling him with an exclamation of surprise. Jiang Yu's eyes widen in shock as a brilliant blue light bursts from his chest, arcing powerfully across the room. A glowing green system prompt appears, rotating rapidly, with a clear directive: turn around. Vibrant green light intensifies, radiating energy outwards as the system prepares to reveal new information. Within the glowing green light, a stylized character forms, hinting at the essence of the shadowy entity. Jiang Yu stares at the newly manifested system panel, titled Jiang Yu Shadow, displaying its attributes: Shadow Point 1/1, Grid, unlocked with 10 shadow points, and Ability, Shadow Devouring Shadow. He excitedly questions, is this the attribute panel for my shadow? Jiang Yu's finger hovers over the Shadow Point 1/1 on the attribute panel, contemplating the potential for upgrades. System further elaborates on the shadow's nature. It exists because of Jiang Yu possesses all his memories, is synchronized with his strength, and can execute simple commands, though it lacks independent thought. A hint suggests giving it exercise for unexpected gains. Jiang Yu observes his shadow still dancing amidst the purple lights, his expression thoughtful as he processes the system's revelations about its capabilities. Jiang Yu tests the shadow's form, his hand passing through its translucent body as he ponders its lack of a physical presence and inability to speak. A look of surprise crosses Jiang Yu's face as he poses a critical question to the shadow. Do you have all of my memories? The shadow's eyes glow blue as it responds with a single word, node, confirming its connection to Jiang Yu's memories. Jiang Yu sits at his desk, engrossed in papers, as his shadow's elongated arm extends into the foreground, its presence a constant companion. A complex mathematical equation fills a sheet of paper on the desk as Jiang Yu issues another command to his shadow: come over here. Jiang Yu's hand rests on the complex equation, ready to begin the task. Jiang Yu holds out a pen, presenting his summer homework to the shadowy figure in questioning. This is my summer homework. Can you take a look at it? Wait, can you hold a pen? The shadow, its luminous eyes fixed, effortlessly takes the pen from Jiang Yu's grasp, ready to begin. Jiang Yu observes his shadow, now holding the pen, a thought bubble appearing as he wonders, does this guy have a physical form or not? It's a bit unnerving. The shadow stares blankly at the complex mathematical problem, a series of ellipses indicating its utter confusion and inability to proceed. Jiang Yu, baffled by the sudden halt, demands to know, why did you stop writing? Instead of solving the equation, the shadow has only scribbled chaotic, indecipherable lines across the paper. Jiang Yu exclaims in frustration, declaring, what a load of nonsense. Despite having all my memories, I could finish this type of problem in 2 minutes for fun. The paper passes through the shadow's ethereal arm, highlighting its non-physical nature. Jiang Yu ponders, could it be that the test questions are too difficult? A system notification clarifies, Shadow, your shadow exists because of you. It possesses all of your memories and is completely synchronized with your strength, able to carry out any simple command you give it. However, please note that it does not have independent thinking ability. A sly smirk spreads across Jiang Yu's face as he issues a new command, write out the lesson from memory. Shadow's hand moves with incredible speed, the pen a blur as it precisely transcribes the lesson from memory, streaks of blue energy trailing its rapid movements. The shadow now wields multiple pens, writing at an impossible speed, while Jiang Yu humorously laments, oh my gosh, what's the point of being a superhuman if my shadow cheats on tests? I should just sell books instead of studying. He then realizes, there's potential, so much potential. Jiang Yu's eyes gleam with manic excitement, a slight nosebleed indicating his intense focus as he declares the shadow's incredible potential and resolves to explore. Let me see if there are any other ways to play. Jiang Yu stands beside his desk, observing a holographic system interface that displays a silhouette of his shadow, eager to delve deeper into its functionalities. The system interface reveals the shadow's attributes. Jiang Yu, shadow, attribute, shadow point, 1/1, grid, unlocked with 10 shadow points, ability, shadow devouring. The description states, shadow devouring. You can draw shadow points from all, darkness, TO, enhance yourself, or TO, decompose dead objects, absorb shadow points. Jiang Yu reads the ability name aloud, shadow devouring. A curious smile on his face, he ponders the exact mechanics. Devouring darkness. How exactly does this devouring work? Do you make physical contact with your body or objects' shadows? Jiang Yu crouches low in a dimly lit corner, intently observing the shadows around him, preparing to test his new ability. With a confident smile, Jiang Yu extends his hand, asserting that, this way, I should be able to devour darkness. Jiang Yu's face contorts in distress, sweat beading on his brow as a faint blue aura surrounds him, indicating a struggle with the new ability. Jiang Yu's eyes are shown in a close-up as a new system notification appears. Shadow pupil, your eyes have undergone an unknown transformation. By activating this ability, you can see the dark side of the world and choose to observe/enter it. Jiang Yu stares at the system message, the background revealing a distorted, shadowy world. He questions if this dark side of the world is the strange place he encountered before, then decides, oh well, let's take it step by step and see what happens. Jiang Yu looks contemplative, his hand resting near his chest, as he processes the implications of his new shadow pupil ability amidst a swirling blue backdrop. Jiang Yu instructs his shadow, which is still at the desk, to perform a few push-ups before attempting any more cheating with homework. Don't cheat yet, do a few push-ups first and let me see. The shadow looks down, a series of ellipses indicating its silent acknowledgement of Jiang Yu's unexpected command. The shadow rises, its form solidifying and crackling with vibrant blue energy, ready to obey Jiang Yu's latest instruction. Jiang Yu shouts in confusion, demanding to know, hey, I asked you to do push-ups, where did you go? As his shadow has now transformed into a flat, spreading puddle on the floor. From the puddle-like form, the shadow's head emerges, its glowing eyes looking up, still surrounded by the ethereal blue energy. Jiang Yu turns to face the wall, where his shadow has now transformed into a swirling, portal-like vortex of dark energy. Shadowy entity, now fully formed and radiating a chilling blue aura, floats ominously before Jiang Yu. A shocked Jiang Yu confronts the shadowy entity, demanding to know if it had been observing him the entire time. Jiang Yu questions the shadowy figure, which is now diligently writing on a stack of papers titled The Dark Side. Shadowy hand tears a page from the exercises stack, revealing its intent to work on those tasks. Jiang Yu ponders if it would be more effective to train in the dark side of the world, then grants permission for the shadow to proceed. The shadowy entity acknowledges Jiang Yu's words with a silent nod, its glowing eyes fixed. As Jiang Yu watches, the dark energy tendrils rapidly recede and dissipate from his immediate vicinity. The swirling dark energy drills down, vanishing completely into the floor beneath, leaving no trace. Jiang Yu lets out a weary sigh, seemingly drained from the recent interaction or the energy expenditure. Jiang Yu settles into his chair, taking a moment to himself in the quiet of his room. With a confident smirk, Jiang Yu declares it's time to do some serious work, gripping his drawing tablet pen firmly. Sun shines brightly over the city, with white doves soaring past a tall, aged building. The computer screen remains dark, the keyboard untouched, as the sound of soft snores fills the air. Jiang Yu is fast asleep at his desk, a trail of drool escaping his lips as he dreams, muttering a soft hee-hee. In his dream, Jiang Yu fantasizes about a feast of mutton, grilled chicken, and kimchi soup, then eagerly imagines drawing the table with his pen. A sudden, insistent knock 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 at the door jolts Jiang Yu's eyes wide open, pulling him abruptly from his slumber. Jiang Yu stretches painfully, complaining that sleeping on my stomach made my back really hurt, as a voice from outside shouts for him to Jiang Yu, "Open the door!" Jiang Yu's hand slowly reaches for the doorknob, wondering aloud, well, why the hurry? Lu Yao, Jiang Yu's childhood girlfriend and loyal fan, stands in the doorway, checking her phone, as Jiang Yu greets her, asking what's up this early morning. Jiang Yu reacts with a puzzled ha, his eyes wide with surprise. Jiang Yu observes Lu Yao's HP bar, noting with concern, why did her HP drop a little? As he realizes something at this time, Jiang Yu looks towards the clock, a sudden realization dawning on him as he exclaims, right, that's the reason. Jiang Yu turns to Lu Yao, asking her directly, why did you come so early? Lu Yao eagerly urges Jiang Yu, revealing that she saw his plans last night and knows he's getting ready to start a new drawing, having already decided on the content. With a mischievous glint in her eyes, Lu Yao declares her desire to see the collection of designs, her excitement palpable. Lu Yao lets out a surprised "Achut," as if something unexpected just happened. An exasperated Lu Yao confronts Jiang Yu, telling him, even if you don't want to show me, there's no need to close the door like this, as he silently shuts it. The door frame visibly cracks and splinters from the force of being shut, highlighting the abruptness of the action. Jiang Yu stands with a clenched fist, a faint blue aura surrounding him, looking surprised as Lu Yao calls out his name. Jiang Yu? Lu Yao stares in wide-eyed shock, a surprised "E" escaping her lips as lightning crackles around her. Lu Yao's gaze falls upon Jiang Yu, her surprise evident as she begins to question him directly, a puzzled expression on his face. Her eyes scan over Jiang Yu's physique, a new question forming as she continues. Did you go to the gym lately? Lu Yao demands, her small frame trembling with a mix of disbelief and agitation as Jiang Yu looks on, startled. She shakes her head, muttering in disbelief, no, you are a loner who hasn't exercised in many years. Her brow furrows in confusion, but how could you have such perfect muscles overnight? Unable to contain her curiosity, Lu Yao reaches out, her finger prodding Jiang Yu's bicep through his shirt, confirming the unexpected firmness. Her eyes wide with suspicion, Lu Yao points accusingly at Jiang Yu, who offers an awkward smile. Did you do anything? She presses, demanding an explanation for his sudden transformation. Her eyes still fixated on his form, Lu Yao reiterates her earlier question. Did you go to the gym lately? She insists, her voice laced with growing suspicion as she stares at Jiang Yu. Shaking her head again, Lu Yao's internal monologue continues. No, he's a loner who hasn't exercised in many years. But how could he have such perfect muscles overnight? Once more, her finger presses into his bicep, a tactile confirmation of the impossible change. Did you do anything? Lu Yao insists, her patience clearly wearing thin as she stares him down. With a mischievous, chibi-like determination, Lu Yao grabs Jiang Yu's shirt, declaring, let me see, as she begins to pull it up. Jiang Yu blushes furiously as his shirt is lifted, revealing a perfectly sculpted six-pack. Lu Yao stares in disbelief, accusing him, liar, it's impossible to get six-pack abs with a little exercise. Her expression turns serious as she warns Jiang Yu, I've seen some cases that were dealt with by my dad. Jiang Yu, there are some things that must not be touched. There is still time to hold back yet. Jiang Yu rolls his eyes, dismissing her concerns with a wave of his hand. You talk too much, blah blah, he retorts, clearly not taking her seriously. Suddenly, a hand shoots out with incredible speed, aiming for Jiang Yu against a backdrop of radiating lines. Lu Yao's grip is firm as she seizes Jiang Yu's wrist, her expression unyielding. He cries out in alarm, Hey, what are you doing? You wouldn't use some lethal weapon on me, would you? Ignoring his protests, Lu Yao swiftly attaches a sleek, futuristic wrist device to Jiang Yu's arm. Jiang Yu stares at the device in confusion. This is what? He asks. Lu Yao sternly replies, don't move, this is an instrument for testing the pollution index. His eyes widen. Pollution index? Lu Yao's gaze is intense as she explains the danger. Killing alien races, ingesting foreign objects, and resentment will cause pollution to a certain degree. She elaborates on the grim consequences, and if it was not purified in time, the accumulation would cause a human to turn into an abnormal form. The visual depicts a terrifying, shadowy transformation. Zhang Yu smirks confidently, thinking to himself, my ability comes from the evidence on my chest. What kind of pollution could this have? Hehe. Suddenly, a dark, swirling energy erupts from Zhang Yu's chest, while blue energy crackles around the device on his arm. The numbers on the device rapidly climb. 60, 90, 100. Zhang Yu exclaims in shock, damn, it seems that the device is reacting to it. As the numbers hit 120, Zhang Yu's eyes widen in terror. He sees Lu Yao, now holding a gun with a menacing smirk and glowing eyes, and panics. Wait, a gun? You won't kill me, right? Zhang Yu clenches his jaw, black tendrils of energy still escaping him. He desperately thinks, no, Lu Yao can't find out. The abnormality occurring in my body must stop. On the device, the pollution index rapidly drops, numbers flashing down, 40, 20, 10. Zhang Yu's efforts are working. Lu Yao observes the device, then relaxes, stating, well, it seems normal. Zhang Yu, now relieved, laughs nervously. Ha ha ha, despite your words, you pointed your weapon at me? He questions, a hint of accusation in his voice. Zhang Yu lets out a long, relieved phew, a visible puff of air escaping his lips as he finally relaxes. Lu Yao holsters her weapon, her expression thoughtful. My father taught me to be more careful in everything, she explains, justifying her extreme precautions. In a sudden shift of topic, a chibi Zhang Yu beams, pointing upwards. By the way, I recently drew some famous comic characters. Do you want to see them? He asks, trying to lighten the mood. Lu Yao's chibi form lights up, practically bouncing with excitement as she demands, I want to see. Give it to me quickly. An unseen voice, likely Dr. Xiao, cuts through the light-hearted moment, urging them to control themselves, remarking that they look like little children. Yet, the unseen Lu Yao's enthusiasm remains unbridled, her voice echoing with impatience. Give them to me quickly. I cannot wait. Zhang Yu's hand extends, his finger making contact with a shimmering blue holographic interface, initiating an unknown command. Zhang Yu stares in disbelief at the multiple shadow versions of himself, each engaged in rigorous training. He wonders, this shadow version, was he training all night? A chibi Zhang Yu beams with fierce determination, declaring, good, push-ups, planks. His chibi form shouts even louder, adding squats, as he pumps his fist, clearly energized by the intense training regimen. Lu Yao stands by the door, listening intently. She mentally lists the grueling exercises Zhang Yu is performing, lifting the legs in the L position, running with weights and abdominal exercises. She then reflects, realizing he's really training. Apparently my doubts were too much. A sigh of relief escapes Lu Yao as she thinks, well, that worried me a lot, but luckily he's really fine. She huffs a small humph before her mood brightens, deciding, let's go. I will go home and read some comics. The scene shifts to Zhang Yu standing atop a building, a determined look on his face as a system notification appears. Disaster calendar, year 99, January 20th, day 1 of obtaining Shadow. Zhang Yu smirks, reflecting on his progress. He notes that Shadow kept training all night and didn't feel any fatigue, but I unknowingly got stronger. This kind of improvement in strength. He then chastises himself. This is too shameful. As young people, how can we be content with our current situation? The system displays the next day's date, January 21st. Zhang Yu's thoughts reveal the fruits of his labor. I arranged more training for the Shadow, and the results were amazing. The image highlights a powerful, newly sculpted physique. A chibi Zhang Yu, donning boxing gloves, unleashes a flurry of punches. He humorously ponders, should I be able to kill Lu Yao with a single punch now? No, it's time to work hard. Zhang Yu observes a holographic display, a thoughtful expression on his face. He remarks, it's weird, as the system shows his shadow points. 8. He notes the growth rate of shadow points is very slow. It took a lot of shadows to provide 8 points. The ability Shadow Possession is listed, requiring 10 shadow points. Zhang Yu sits in deep concentration, his eyes closed as dark, ethereal tendrils of shadow energy ripple outwards from his form, glowing with a faint blue aura around him. The dark, ethereal tendrils of shadow energy coalesce, forming a swirling vortex of deep blue and black on the floor, pulsating with raw power. The energy intensifies, a blinding flash of teal and black light erupting from the ground, signaling a profound transformation. From the depths of the shadowy energy, Zhang Yu levitates upwards, his form slowly solidifying as his vibrant yellow eyes open, filled with a renewed intensity. Zhang Yu stands tall in his room, the dark energy still swirling around his feet as he fully materializes back into his physical form. His foot firmly plants on the ground, the last vestiges of the dimensional energy dissipating with a soft glow, marking his complete return. With a wide grin and a hand shielding his eyes, Zhang Yu declares, finally, he got out of the dark side. He finds himself standing in a desolate urban landscape, the sky a sickly green, a stark contrast to his room, yet eerily similar. Zhang Yu muses that he can't seem to leave this place or even his room within this dimension, realizing he can only enter the dark side from outside his real room. He observes the gloomy, distorted city around him, concluding that despite appearances, this still feels like the real world. A shadow looms in the foreground as Zhang Yu walks, expressing his growing anger at the situation. Suddenly, a sharp, yellow streak of energy slices through the air, indicating an imminent attack. Zhang Yu, startled, turns to see a figure in the distance, wondering if it's another person in this desolate place. He turns, a hopeful expression on his face, asking if the approaching entity has come to help him. Instead of an ally, a monstrous, shadowy entity with glowing red eyes and razor-sharp teeth lunges forward, emitting a guttural roar. Night Watchman, a fearsome shadow creature wielding a glowing red scythe, attacks Zhang Yu with lethal intent. Zhang Yu barely dodges the scythe, exclaiming in frustration as the attack narrowly misses him, leaving a destructive impact on the ground. The Night Watchman roars, its terrifying face contorted in a menacing snarl, ready for another strike. Zhang Yu reacts quickly, dodging two simultaneous attacks from the Night Watchman and its shadow clone, barely avoiding fatal blows. With a determined expression, Zhang Yu extends his hand, activating his Shadow Circle skill, a complex runic pattern glowing beneath his palm. As the Night Watchman descends, Zhang Yu channels his power, a surge of blue energy erupting from the activated Shadow Circle at his feet. Zhang Yu is sent flying backward from an unseen impact, green energy rippling around him as he crashes through the air. He lands hard, cartoonishly wide-eyed and stunned, realizing how incredibly close he came to a serious injury. In a chibi moment, Zhang Yu rubs his sore backside, still reeling from the near miss and the shock of the attack. Zhang Yu, visibly shaken, clutches his chest and questions what the creature was and why a gate appeared, attacking him without explanation. Regaining his composure, Zhang Yu smirks, acknowledging that his recent training has made him more flexible, declaring the creature won't be able to hurt him. His eyes gleam with fierce resolve as Zhang Yu vows no mercy for the creature that tried to kill him. A flashback reveals Zhang Yu's first encounter on January 28th, where he fought the Night Watchman and unfortunately took a hit. On January 29th, his second attempt at revenge failed, resulting in a chest blow that nearly broke his ribs, fueling his determination for vengeance. The memory of January 30th flashes, when he was painfully scratched 3 times, losing 6% of his HP, solidifying his anger. Back in the real world on January 31st, a chibi Lu Yao tends to Zhang Yu as he recovers at home, highlighting the consequences of his battles in the dark side. Lu Yao, still diligently tending to Zhang Yu's injuries, questions him with a stern gaze, asking if he's been fighting again. Zhang Yu, ever the provocateur, merely smirks, declaring that scars are a man's medal. With a mischievous grin, Lu Yao presses the cupping tool firmly against Zhang Yu, retorting, asking if he considers a medal on the ass a badge of honor. Zhang Yu yelps in sudden pain as she applies more pressure. Lu Yao declares that while Zhang Yu still feels the pain now, it serves as a necessary reminder, preventing him from growing arrogant as his body inevitably becomes stronger. Zhang Yu shifts the conversation, reminding Lu Yao that there's only 1 month left and asks about her plans. Lu Yao's eyes widen in surprise, reflecting his concern about the rapidly approaching deadline. Zhang Yu reminds her of the impending martial arts test, questioning if she could have possibly forgotten such a crucial event. The narrator explains that in these disastrous times, most industries have suffered, with cultural and art sectors hit the hardest, pushing art practitioners to the bottom of society. People's interests have shifted from entertainment to national affairs. Instead, the public's attention is captivated by those on the front lines, like the Night Watchmen, who fight against monstrous threats, becoming the true heroes and stars in people's hearts. To join their ranks, one must pass a rigorous state-mandated martial arts exam, a gateway to an extraordinary life beyond the mundane. As the evening settles, Zhang Yu and Lu Yao sit together on the sofa, a quiet moment of contemplation passing between them. Zhang Yu, looking conflicted, confesses to Lu Yao that he actually doesn't want to participate in the upcoming martial arts exam, prompting a surprised "what?" from her. Small, soft sound of surprise escapes Lu Yao's lips. Lu Yao reveals her true desire, admitting that she actually wants to pursue music instead. Zhang Yu ponders her decision, questioning if her father, Uncle Lu, a senior executive in the Night Watch department, would truly disagree. He understands the potential disappointment, as it would mean rejecting a guaranteed path for an independent career. Lu Yao continues to apply the healing liquid to Zhang Yu's arm with a gentle, focused touch. Zhang Yu, sensing something deeper, clarifies that it's not simply a matter of her father disagreeing, prompting a curious "ha" from Lu Yao. Lu Yao, with a serious expression, instructs Zhang Yu to keep a secret, revealing that the laws have recently changed. She explains the new mandate. This year, anyone meeting the qualifications must take the martial arts exam and apply, regardless of their personal wishes. Zhang Yu expresses his shock, recalling that previously, individual wishes were respected, and even those with average qualifications could apply for a general examination. Lu Yao reveals the underlying reason. The immense pressure on the night watch has grown, and barring any unforeseen circumstances, she fully intends to take the martial arts exam herself. Zhang Yu's expression turns thoughtful as he connects the dots, realizing the significance of the small instruments Lu Yao had brought out that day that had almost made a sound. Zhang Yu's thoughts race, imagining a chaotic test day where he couldn't hide his abilities, especially if he wasn't proficient with a gun. Despite the potential chaos, Zhang Yu maintains a confident smirk, trusting that his unreliable little guide wouldn't steer him towards a disadvantageous situation. A sudden idea sparks in Zhang Yu's mind, illuminating his eyes with realization. Zhang Yu asks Lu Yao if the reagent she used previously could also protect against alien species. Lu Yao quickly dismisses the idea, explaining that the tool is only for detection, and if he encounters a truly different kind, his only option is to run and make an emergency call before he dies. Zhang Yu questions the concept of a different kind, while Lu Yao simply hums thoughtfully in response. A moment of mutual confusion hangs in the air as both Zhang Yu and Lu Yao ponder the implications of her words. Lu Yao informs Zhang Yu that his injuries are healed and she'll be heading back. Zhang Yu, however, quickly coughs to get her attention, asking if he could see her family's basic knowledge about the paranormal. Lu Yao questions if he's suddenly interested and plans to take the public examination. Zhang Yu reminds her that the martial arts exam is mandatory this year, and if he has talent, it's only logical to gain knowledge in advance. Lu Yao looks surprised, asking really? Zhang Yu, with a mischievous grin, confirms his intentions, adding that he primarily wants to create comics about superhumans and alien blood. Lu Yao, utterly thrilled, presses Zhang Yu to elaborate on his grand vision, asking him to hurry and tell her all about it. Zhang Yu, taken aback by her intense excitement, tries to calm her down, noting her immediate reaction. Later, the two settle comfortably on a sofa in a sun-drenched room, a moment of calm after their animated discussion. As they arrive at their destination, Lu Yao stands at the doorway, gesturing for Zhang Yu to enter. System prompt reveals that Zhang Yu's house is conveniently located in the same lane as Lu Yao's. Lu Yao then instructs Zhang Yu to wait while she retrieves the necessary materials from her father's room. A plush teddy bear sits innocently on a bed, surrounded by whimsical room decorations. The room's decor includes a festive Happy New Year sign, a potted plant, and a neatly arranged desk area. Zhang Yu observes his surroundings with a curious expression, a soft "oh" escaping his lips. His gaze falls upon a romance novel titled Fate's Sky, resting on a patterned green blanket. Lu Yao, flustered and blushing, quickly clarifies that the book belongs to a friend, insisting she hasn't read it herself, while Zhang Yu observes her with a slight smirk. Lu Yao firmly instructs Zhang Yu to wait patiently and not touch anything. He calmly dismisses her with an "okay, just go." Zhang Yu's gaze drifts to an acoustic guitar, triggering a memory. He recalls Lu Yao's lifelong passion for music, how she clung to her old instruments, and how she used to pester him to listen, despite his lack of interest back then. Hand presses play on an old cassette player as musical notes begin to emanate from the vintage device, filling the air. A nostalgic montage flashes, showing a young Zhang Yu and Lu Yao playing together, immersed in music. The scene shifts to the present as an older Zhang Yu smiles wistfully, lost in the melody, before Lu Yao's voice cuts through, asking him when he started to like music. Lu Yao playfully pokes Zhang Yu's cheek, teasing him that he couldn't even recognize musical instruments back then, highlighting his past indifference. Lu Yao's hand reaches out, questioning if he found it. Zhang Yu, holding a sleek VR headset, tells her to see for herself, implying that everything they need is within the device. VR headset settles onto Zhang Yu's face, its intricate blue circuits glowing to life, indicating activation. Zhang Yu sits perfectly still, immersed in the virtual world, as a complex blue digital interface swirls around him. Suddenly, Zhang Yu's form begins to distort, enveloped by an intense, swirling vortex of blue energy, as if being pulled into another reality. His eyes, wide and sharp, reflect the vibrant digital landscape, fully engaged with the virtual environment. System prompt announces his arrival. Let's go. Here is the abyss. This virtual reality is very real. Jiang Yu gazes in awe at the dark, ethereal space filled with floating, glowing blue eyes. Another system message appears, defining his new surroundings. Abyss, the unknown world, is full of taboos and dangers, and it is the source of disaster. As shadowy, monstrous figures drift through the cosmic expanse, a system message explains their nature. Born in this mysterious space, the alien species are cruel, constantly killing and destroying our world. Jiang Yu observes the exotic, shadowy species with a look of concern, a thought forming in his mind. Could these be the same creatures he encountered in the hospital that fateful day? Jiang Yu's concern deepens as the world around him shifts, revealing a stark reality. Between our world and the abyss lies the shadow, the dark side of existence, a true part of the real world. Before the cracks even opened, alien species infiltrated through this shadow layer, some slipping past even the vigilant night watchman. The surreal landscape pulses with eerie energy as Jiang Yu drifts through the shimmering, green void, surrounded by swirling currents of power. Floating amidst phantom skyscrapers, Jiang Yu receives another critical piece of information. Every 2 months, the shadow layer resets, recreating the very phenomena he is currently witnessing. With each reset, the number of alien species increases, necessitating their swift removal. Yet, deploying powerful individuals above the 4th level is not recommended, as their presence would severely weaken human combat effectiveness within the shadow layer, where one's visible range is only 3 to 5 meters, expanding with increased strength. Grim detail emerges. Prolonged exposure to the shadow layer's pollution can transform humans into strange entities. Jiang Yu wonders why Kai Yingtong felt no discomfort when he entered it before. Suddenly, a colossal, shadowy entity with glowing eyes manifests behind Jiang Yu, its presence radiating immense, terrifying power. Jiang Yu's eyes widen in alarm, a stark realization dawning upon him as the true scale of the threat becomes clear. Gravity of the situation settles in. To combat these alien species, one must wield a force capable of rivaling them. A radiant, extraordinary humanoid figure, crackling with golden energy, materializes, embodying the immense power required to face such threats. Jiang Yu gazes at the glowing figure, utterly captivated, exclaiming that this extraordinary being is so amazing and handsome, wondering if he too could achieve such a form after passing the martial arts exam. The beautiful illusion persists, but a harsh truth is revealed. These extraordinary people are primarily aliens inhabiting human bodies. The consequence of wielding such power is severe. While controlling energy, their forms are constantly eroded by the very force they command. Extraordinary beings are locked in an unending battle against pollution and the creeping threat of alienation, their forms twisting under the strain. Even in death, the struggle continues, with a high probability of their essence transforming into something alien and monstrous. Grim reality of their existence is laid bare. When an extraordinary person realizes their end is near and survival is impossible, they are urged to expend every last ounce of their strength before succumbing to their inevitable demise, a final act of defiance against the encroaching darkness. Suddenly, a blinding flash of light erupts, signaling an abrupt end to the intense informational download. Jiang Yu snaps back to reality, startled and disoriented, still holding the VR headset as Lu Yao looks on from behind him. Lu Yao, noticing his dazed state, asks what happened. Jiang Yu rubs his forehead, explaining that the amount of information was overwhelming, and it had been a while since he received such a comprehensive update. With a playful grin, Jiang Yu tells Lu Yao to come give him a back massage. Lu Yao, looking annoyed, demands that he repeat himself. Jiang Yu, with a smug expression, attempts to bribe her, offering 3 original Ultra HD drawings of her choosing. Lu Yao, a mischievous smile gracing her lips, agrees to the terms, placing her hands on Jiang Yu's shoulders. As Lu Yao attempts the massage, she comments on how hard his neck is, noting his muscular build. Jiang Yu playfully asks if she's checking for abs, then teases her about wanting to touch him. Jiang Yu proudly lifts his shirt, showcasing his chiseled abs, as Lu Yao's hand lingers. At that very moment, the doorknob turns, and the door swings open, revealing an unexpected visitor. Lu Yao's father, radiating a powerful, golden aura and a furious expression, stands in the doorway. Lu Yao, shocked, exclaims his name in disbelief. Tense silence falls over the dining table as Jiang Yu, Lu Yao, and her father sit, the air thick with unspoken accusation. Jiang Yu, attempting to appear nonchalant, eats his rice, though a bead of sweat betrays his unease under the watchful eye of Lu Yao's father. Lu Yao's father aggressively gnaws on a bone, his glare fixed on Jiang Yu, who offers a nervous smile. The father's intense demeanor clearly conveys his displeasure. Lu Yao, attempting to diffuse the escalating tension, tries to explain to her father that he has misunderstood the situation. Lu Yao's father, his face contorted in anger, challenges her, questioning how he could misunderstand what he saw with his own eyes, leaving Lu Yao stammering for a response. As Lu Yao's father's anger simmers, a chibi Lu Yao vehemently demands answers from Zhang Yu, who remains stubbornly silent, absorbed in his meal. Back in the present, Zhang Yu, attempting to mollify Smoking Man, declares himself to blame and pledges to punish himself with 3 cups of alcohol. With a defiant gulp, Zhang Yu quickly drains a cup, telling Smoking Man he can do whatever he wants, as both Lu Yao and her father watch in stunned silence. Smoking Man's eye twitches, his anger flaring as he questions Zhang Yu's actions, a fiery red aura manifesting behind him. Smoking Man lunges, demanding a knife in a fit of rage, while Lu Yao desperately tries to restrain him, and Zhang Yu, terrified, insists it's all a misunderstanding. A flashback begins, with Zhang Yu reflecting on his childhood with Lu Yao, acknowledging their deep connection despite their starkly different personalities. He recalls how he was seen as a notorious boy, while Lu Yao was the educated and knowledgeable young lady, a stark contrast in their public images. A humorous memory surfaces of young Zhang Yu challenging Lu Yao to a crude contest, asserting his ability to go farther, much to her visible annoyance. Zhang Yu's expression hardens with a hint of pride as he considers Lu Yao's unwavering loyalty, speculating it might be due to a time he helped her. In a vivid memory, young Zhang Yu bravely stands before 2 bullies, daring them to attack together, while a crying Lu Yao cowers behind him. As Lu Yao sobs, young Zhang Yu charges into the fray with a fierce shout, an unseen friend urging him to do his best. Zhang Yu recalls how Lu Yao would even play along with his silly pranks, like pretending to be homeless, despite an adult scolding him for lying. Returning to the present, Zhang Yu reflects on how Smoking Man, Lu Yao's father, had always been wary of him, never approving of their closeness. Smoking Man lights a cigarette, the flame briefly illuminating his stern profile, emphasizing his intense focus. Lu Yao's eye is shown in a close-up, reflecting a deep concern and apprehension about the escalating tension. Smoking Man, still seething, confronts Lu Yao, demanding to know what she was doing when he returned, his frustration evident. A close-up reveals Smoking Man's piercing gaze, his eye glowing faintly, hinting at a suppressed power or intense resolve. Zhang Yu, with a wide, confident grin, declares his interest in information on aliens and supernatural beings, attempting to shift the conversation. Smoking Man stares at Zhang Yu with a look of intense scrutiny, his expression unreadable but clearly displeased. Lu Yao responds with a playful hee-hee, sticking out her tongue, seemingly amused by Zhang Yu's bold declaration. Smoking Man's stern expression softens into a slight smile as he remarks on how spoiled Lu Yao is, a rare moment of tenderness. His gaze turns serious again as he addresses Zhang Yu directly, uttering his name with a tone of gravity. Smoking Man explains the government's strict policy against students learning about supernatural phenomena, warning that human souls are vulnerable to deviation and despair, which can lead to ruin. He emphasizes that certain knowledge is not suitable for everyone, reiterating the need for caution in the supernatural world. Smoking Man warns that not everyone possesses sufficient willpower, and even a minor crack in one's soul can be exploited by alien races, visually depicting a man screaming in torment, entangled by shadowy, eye-covered tendrils. He continues, explaining that rigorous tests are mandatory before any official examination, as only individuals with robust physical health and willpower can safely engage with the supernatural realm. Smoking Man stresses that the path of superpowers is fraught with peril, demanding immense perseverance and patience, as many still lose control despite assistive devices, a blue, distorted figure behind Zhang Yu visually representing such a loss. The final, stern warning, Smoking Man advises Zhang Yu against delving into these dangerous subjects, seeking his understanding. Zhang Yu offers a knowing smile, acknowledging the warning and thanking Smoking Man for his concern. Despite the warnings, Zhang Yu confidently declares his unavoidable participation in the military comprehensive examination this year, asserting that self-reliance is paramount, especially when the world is in chaos. Smoking Man, still puffing on his cigarette, looks intently at Zhang Yu, stating that a reliable person could indeed be useful. He then adds, "Zhang Yu really?" Before he can finish, the Smoking Man's phone rings. He answers sharply, "Yes," then listens to the urgent news. "Commander Lu, Shadow Tier, urgent mission." The Smoking Man swiftly accepts the mission, declaring he'll depart immediately. He then turns his gaze to Zhang Yu, a menacing smile creeping onto his face, warning him to be a gentleman while he's gone. "If you do anything wrong," he threatens, "I'll kill you." Zhang Yu confidently assures the Smoking Man, "Don't worry, Uncle Lu, I will never do anything wrong with Lu Yao again." Behind him, Lu Yao chokes on her food, her eyes wide with surprise. Lu Yao, struggling in Jiang Yu's playful grasp, protests vehemently. What do you mean by again? We've never done anything wrong before. She then demands to know if Jiang Yu truly meant his earlier statement. The vibrant city street is adorned with festive lanterns as Jiang Yu carries a gleeful Lu Yao on his shoulders. She savors a piece of sugar candy, while vendors call out, "Sugar candy, frozen sugar candy." Public display highlights the Sunset Watch, a unit dedicated to guarding the safety of the Sea of Clouds. As Jiang Yu navigates the aisles, he mentally notes his desire for more detailed information, but acknowledges he only had access to basic knowledge. He sighs, realizing that crucial information is likely kept and hidden and might not be accessible in the future. Jiang Yu pauses his shopping as his phone rings. On the other end, a familiar voice begins, "Jiang Yu, buy me a box of milk," and Lu Yao's voice comes through the phone, cutting herself off to say, "It doesn't matter, just these things." Jiang Yu stands before a shelf, his back to the viewer, contemplating the array of sanitary products. The knowing smirk, Jiang Yu holds up 2 packs of sanitary pads, stating, "If you want me to get you pads, just say it, no need to stutter." As Jiang Yu leaves the store, he reflects on his progress. There was only a month left until the start of the study, and now the effect of shadow exercise is getting better. He realizes that doing shadow training alone will not be enough. Some more practical exercises should be increased. His heavy boot hits the pavement with a decisive thud. His thoughts drift to the escalating global conflict, noting that the fight against alien races has been increasingly advertised lately. He also observes that this year's martial arts exam also increased the number of students enrolled, a sign of the growing desperation for strength. Gazing up at the ominous full moon, Jiang Yu feels a chilling premonition. It seems that something bad is going to happen in this world soon. He quickly dismisses the unsettling thoughts, deciding it's better to avoid thinking about it and not bother myself. Instead, he resolves to meet alien races and evolve by fighting with them. Jiang Yu scans his surroundings, cautiously looking left and right. Suddenly, dark, swirling energy erupts around Jiang Yu, forming an ethereal aura at his feet and shoulders. From an overhead perspective, Jiang Yu stands amidst the dark, swirling energy in a desolate alley, his presence radiating an unseen power. System prompt flashes into existence, displaying a red energy bar at 14%. Jiang Yu reacts with a startled huh as he quickly scans his surroundings. From the shadows, the purple-haired attacker emerges, his body marred by wounds and blood. Above him, the 14% energy bar persists, indicating his critical state. The purple-haired attacker's body is a testament to brutal combat, covered in crimson and gaping wounds. His face, bruised and cracked, reveals glowing purple eyes, barely clinging to consciousness at 14% health. Jiang Yu executes a swift back jump, creating distance from the approaching, heavily wounded purple-haired attacker, whose 14% status remains ominously visible. A look of profound shock crosses Jiang Yu's face as he recognizes the man. You live in the same building as me. Why are you here?" he questions, bewildered. The heavy thud, the purple-haired attacker collapses to the ground, his strength finally giving out, leaving Jiang Yu standing over him. An unsettling silence falls over the alley. Jiang Yu stares down at the unconscious purple-haired attacker, the 14% bar a stark reminder of his state, while high above, the night watchman silently observes the scene. Jiang Yu's gaze is fixed on the fallen purple-haired attacker, the ominous 14% bar a stark visual of his current, depleted state. From the ground, a distorted view of Jiang Yu's shadowy form looms, red energy swirling around him. In the distance, a small figure, Lu Yao, whimpers in terror, huddled against the wall. Jiang Yu's dark side fully manifests, a monstrous silhouette with glowing red eyes and a terrifying grin, while the young Lu Yao shrinks back in fear. Jiang Yu himself looks on, bewildered by the transformation. The shadowy Jiang Yu, now at 24% power, clutches a blade of pure red energy. A furious voice echoes, demanding, "Are you the reason?" Jiang Yu's eyes burn with a furious resolve, his normal form returned, but the anger still clear on his face. In a separate alley, the night watchman sighs, reflecting on his exhaustion. He laments, really tired. Recently, the amount of work in the night department has increased. The night watchman rubs his aching neck, muttering, "I was thinking that administrative work in the night department would be easy and well rewarded, but I'm working later and later every day. If I had known this in advance, I would not have registered for the comprehensive military examination." The night watchman's eyes widen in shock as a swirling vortex of dark energy appears. From within, a desperate plea echoes, "My brother, help me." Two terrified children are dragged into the swirling abyss, their cries for help fading into screams. The night watchman's mind races, questioning, what is this? Alien races? Are they trying to lure people to the dark side? A look of pure disbelief crosses the night watchman's face. He internally shouts, "No, how do alien races slip from the dark side into the present world to wreak havoc? There's never been a situation where people were drawn directly into it like this." Children's faces contort in terror as they are pulled deeper into the dark portal, their desperate pleas for rescue echoing. With a sudden burst of speed, the night watchman lunges forward, a determined expression on his face. The night watchman reaches out, his hand extended towards the children, shouting, "Don't worry, hold on." Just as the children are about to vanish, the night watchman's hand firmly grasps one of theirs, a desperate attempt to pull them back. But the vortex's pull is too strong. The night watchman is dragged in alongside the children, a look of surprise on his face. Night watchman's face contorts in a silent scream, the sudden transition overwhelming his senses. His eye, wide with shock, reflects the chaotic energy of their new, terrifying surroundings. They emerge into a desolate, unfamiliar landscape as the vortex behind them begins to dissipate. The children cry out in fear, while the night watchman questions, "Where are we now?" Clutching his head, the night watchman laments his predicament. "Oh, this is bad. I was pulled in too. I'm just a civilian after all, and I didn't bring any protective equipment or weapons. This is just asking for death." Suddenly, a crimson energy blade slashes down, forcing the night watchman and the children to recoil as they scream in terror. The night watchman's expression hardens, his jaw set in a grim determination to protect the children. With surprising agility, the night watchman executes a powerful kick, deflecting the incoming red energy blade. The crimson blade shatters into fragments upon impact, neutralized by the night watchman's swift defense. Night watchman observes his hand, a faint blue energy emanating from it, as he realizes the crack we saw just now has disappeared. "It seems we can't go back." The children cautiously peek from behind him. A thoughtful expression settles on the night watchman's face as he considers their dire predicament. A green, shadowy aura emanates from the night watchman as he surveys their surroundings. He grimly notes there are alien races everywhere, and they are capable of launching their attacks at any time. He then recalls, "What's more, after a long period of administrative work, I'd forgotten the simple fighting skills I'd learned during the military examination." Night watchman's face is etched with worry as the two crying children cling to him. He thinks, what's even worse is having two kids who can't fight. The two children sob uncontrollably, their voices wailing, "We want to go home, With grim determination, the night watchman activates a device on his wrist, stating, "We must activate the distress signal and wait for rescue. It's our only option for now." The device beeps, signaling its activation. The wrist device glows brightly, its red symbol pulsing as the distress signal activates, sending out a desperate call for help. Amidst the chaos, Jiangyu offers a small device to a crying Lu Yao and another child, assuring them it will reduce the temporary pollution. He promises to find a way to bring them all home to safety. However, Jiangyu's internal thoughts reveal a colder pragmatism, believing the device is best for the children who need it most, while their ultimate survival is left to fate. Hope flickers in the young boy's eyes as he asks Jiangyu if he will truly bring them home, while Lu Yao holds the small device tightly. With a knowing smile, Jiangyu instructs the children to hide and await the rescue team, while a sinister red energy begins to manifest behind him, hinting at an approaching threat. The narrative shifts, revealing Jiangyu's past. At 18, he passed the military strength exam to enter the university's superpowers department, dedicating his first year to rigorous training, aspiring to become a formidable fighter. By his second year, under his teacher's guidance, Jiangyu successfully defeated an unclassified alien entity, showcasing his developing power as a green, shadowy form dissipates behind him. Confident smile graces Jiangyu's face, acknowledging his victory and growth. Despite his achievements, a deep determination burns in Jiangyu's purple eyes, a silent declaration that his current strength is simply not enough. Jiangyu reflects on the harsh reality of a world dominated by superpowers, where raw talent often overshadows diligent hard work as he observes others manifesting powerful, monstrous forms. His face contorts in a grimace of exertion and frustration, sweat beading on his brow as he pushes himself to the limit. Ultimately, Jiangyu collapses in defeat on the gym floor, acknowledging that despite his relentless efforts and disbelief in fate, he could not surpass his inherent limitations. Resigned, Jiangyu wraps his hands in a gesture of acceptance for his new path, transferring from the military forces to the Department of Morals, becoming a regular employee of the Night's Watch. Now, Jiangyu moves with enhanced speed, leaving a blurred afterimage as he navigates the dark, urban landscape. Suddenly, Jiangyu finds himself pursued by a monstrous, shadowy entity with glowing red eyes and sharp teeth, which lunges with a powerful, crimson energy attack. Jiang Yu quickly assesses his opponent, identifying it as an advanced middle-class first-level monster with 4 eyes, 4 limbs, and a semi-animalistic form. The monstrous entity unleashes a terrifying roar, its glowing red eyes burning with malevolent intent as crimson energy pulses around it. Jiang Yu's expression tightens with concern, bracing himself for the monster's onslaught. A sickening splat of red liquid erupts onto the ground, indicating a violent impact nearby. Jiang Yu expertly dodges a sweeping attack from the red energy-infused monster, narrowly avoiding its deadly claws. His spiked boot makes contact with the ground, providing crucial traction as he maneuvers rapidly. Jiang Yu retaliates with a powerful, glowing punch to the monster, simultaneously evading another crimson energy strike with incredible agility. The monster's face contorts in a silent roar, its glowing red eyes reflecting the impact of Jiang Yu's counterattack. A wide, confident grin spreads across Jiang Yu's face as he exclaims, feeling the exhilarating return of a familiar fighting sensation. Jiang Yu's expression shifts to one of surprise and confusion as a wave of red energy sweeps past him. Caught off guard, Jiang Yu is lifted and propelled through the air by the monster's powerful crimson energy. The monster relentlessly swings its arm, generating a deadly red energy blade that Jiang Yu barely manages to evade. Grimace of pain and frustration crosses Jiang Yu's face, a trickle of blood at his lip as he laments his body's failure to keep pace with his mind's intention to dodge. The monster continues its furious assault, unleashing another barrage of red energy blades, forcing Jiang Yu into a desperate defensive stance. Overwhelmed, Jiang Yu is struck by multiple crimson energy slashes, his form blurring as he's caught in the relentless attack. Clutching his side in pain, Jiang Yu collapses, his body feeling heavy and pierced by countless tiny needles, a clear sign of the monster's debilitating attack. The monstrous form of the purple-haired attacker closes in, its crimson blades slicing through the air, relentlessly pursuing the injured Jiang Yu. With a guttural roar, Jiang Yu pushes through the pain, purple energy crackling around his fist as he prepares to counter the relentless assault. The purple-haired attacker lets out a terrifying shriek, its monstrous visage contorted in pure rage as it lunges forward, screaming "JH!" Jiang Yu coughs up blood, his body racked with pain as the system warns him. Pollution aggravated. He realizes that every use of his superpowers intensifies the detrimental pollution within him, a heavy burden for his low-efficiency, weak-willed self. Despite the escalating pollution, the colossal, shadowy form of the purple-haired attacker dominates the skyline. Jiang Yu, knowing the risks, resolves that today he can't hold back. The purple-haired attacker unleashes a devastating crimson slash, screaming "Zhou!" as Jiang Yu narrowly dodges, blood splattering from his face. A powerful blow sends Jiang Yu hurtling through the air, crashing hard onto the ground amidst a burst of impact as the purple-haired attacker continues its relentless assault. Spitting a mouthful of blood, Jiang Yu struggles to his feet, a crucial detail dawning on him amidst the pain. Heck, that eye! As the purple-haired attacker delivers another sweeping attack, Jiang Yu's mind races, comparing himself to others. He reflects on how a middle-class student from the visual arts department could easily defeat her, while his own task was so difficult. Is this the true difference in talent? Despite the overwhelming odds, he declares, "I can't win, but still..." Jiang Yu's eye narrows, a flicker of unwavering resolve burning within its depths. A bead of sweat trickles down his temple, highlighting the immense strain Jiang Yu is under, yet his gaze remains fixed. The purple-haired attacker stands triumphant over the fallen Jiang Yu, delivering a crushing final blow with its crimson blade, sending blood spraying across the ground. Reflected in Jiang Yu's widening eyes is the monstrous form of the purple-haired attacker, as the chilling thought echoes in his mind. Am I going to die? The terrifying figure of the purple-haired attacker looms large, a grim reminder that despite a century of supposed coexistence, the reality between humans and monsters is far from peaceful. For some, it is merely a constant, desperate escape. With grim determination, Jiang Yu pops a glowing blue pill into his mouth, a final, desperate thought burning in his mind. But before I die... His eye blazes with an intense, swirling blue and purple energy, dark tendrils erupting around it as Jiang Yu's final, unwavering resolve manifests. I must protect the flute. Jiang Yu's resolve hardens into fury, his face contorted in a snarl as he confronts the shadowy figure. He curses the purple-haired attacker, ready to unleash his blue energy. The menacing form of the purple-haired attacker looms, red energy radiating from its glowing eyes and razor-sharp teeth, as Jiang Yu braces himself for the onslaught. With a guttural scream, Jiang Yu pushes past his limits, purple energy crackling around his strained face as he charges into the fray. Purple-haired attacker retaliates with a devastating sweep of its red scythe-like weapon, sending arcs of crimson energy tearing through the air, catching Jiang Yu mid-movement. Jiang Yu is propelled backward, his body twisting in the air as the purple-haired attacker's blade narrowly misses, a testament to his agility even under duress. Undeterred, Jiang Yu closes the distance, winding up for a powerful punch as the purple-haired attacker prepares another swing of its formidable scythe. His bandaged fist ignites with a fierce blue aura, channeling his power for a direct strike against the encroaching threat. Jiang Yu unleashes a furious barrage, his face contorted in a scream as he pummels the purple-haired attacker with relentless, rapid-fire punches. Despite the visible strain, Jiang Yu's determination remains unbroken, internally vowing to continue fighting and hold on for just a little longer. He lands another solid blow, his bandaged fist connecting forcefully with the purple-haired attacker, pushing himself to his absolute limit just a little more. Jiang Yu's bloodied and bandaged fist trembles, his strength waning as he desperately tries to cling to his last reserves just a little more. Exhausted and bruised, Jiang Yu struggles to remain upright, his body battered and his defenses compromised. Seizing the opportunity, the purple-haired attacker launches a brutal red energy punch, catching Jiang Yu off guard and sending him flying. Jiang Yu crashes violently to the ground, a powerful impact rippling through the environment as he collapses, utterly defeated. Lying broken on the ground, Jiang Yu is overcome with despair, realizing his inability to win and feeling utterly helpless against such overwhelming power. As Jiang Yu slowly opens his eyes in confusion, a new figure, strikingly similar to him, appears. The newcomer asks if he's the little boy who didn't wait at the door, claiming to have come for him. Jiang Yu internally dismisses the idea that this could be the night watchman, noting the young voice and unfamiliar manner of speaking. Jiang Yu, bleeding and battered, struggles to comprehend the arrival, internally questioning how an ordinary person could possibly enter this restricted, dark side area. The newcomer kneels beside the injured Jiang Yu, offering a comforting hand and instructing him to rest while he takes over the fight. With a confident smirk, the newcomer explains the strict controls of the dark side, implying his own extraordinary nature by stating it's impossible for anyone to enter casually unless... The purple-haired attacker swiftly strikes, sending the newcomer reeling. From the ground, Jiang Yu watches, wondering if this new arrival is a mysterious, powerful inhabitant of the dark side. Newcomer crashes violently into the environment, kicking up a cloud of debris from the forceful impact. Jiang Yu, still injured, reacts with a comically shocked expression, utterly surprised by the newcomer's apparent weakness. The purple-haired attacker continues its relentless assault, its crimson energy blade flashing as Jiang Yu watches the battle unfold. Newcomer's hand blurs into motion, preparing to counter or defend against the ongoing attack. With a swift, powerful strike, the newcomer connects with the purple-haired attacker, dealing significant damage and visibly reducing its energy to 24%. The purple-haired attacker recoils from the blow, its energy bar dropping further to 23%, indicating the effectiveness of the newcomer's attack. Newcomer grits his teeth, steam visibly rising from his mouth, signaling an intense exertion of power as Jiang Yu observes from the background. Holding up a mysterious bottle, the newcomer defiantly declares himself the purple-haired attacker's opponent, his own energy level at 72%, ready to turn the tide. An atmospheric shot reveals the cityscape under a green moon, momentarily pausing the intense battle. The powerful, decisive kick, the newcomer sends the purple-haired attacker flying, red energy erupting from the impact as he asserts his dominance in the fight. The impact sends a broken bottle spinning through the air, a testament to the raw force Jiang Yu just unleashed. Jiang Yu presses his assault, a whirlwind of white and green energy swirling around him as he closes in on the reeling purple-haired attacker. Purple-haired attacker's weapon, a massive, jagged blade of crimson energy, glows menacingly, ready to retaliate. He unleashes a sweeping attack, the red energy blade leaving destructive trails as Jiang Yu moves to evade the deadly arc. With a chilling roar, the purple-haired attacker lunges, his monstrous form radiating dark power, but Jiang Yu meets him with a determined gaze. Jiang Yu taunts his opponent, declaring that he has fought him many times before and understands his fighting style, noting his current injuries and weakened state. The purple-haired attacker screams in fury, demanding to be the focus, as jagged red energy bursts around him. His monstrous form contorts, a guttural scream escaping his fanged maw as crimson energy flares violently around him. The purple-haired attacker, wreathed in dark energy, is sent skidding backward, leaving streaks of red in his wake as Jiang Yu continues his relentless assault. The night watchman observes the chaotic battle, pondering whether Jiang Yu's combat style is strong or weak, noting his inexplicable ability to suppress his opponent without any obvious tricks. Jiang Yu lunges, shouting that he will finish what he started as red energy crackles around his opponent. His eyes glow with fierce determination as he unleashes a powerful attack, crimson energy erupting from his fists. Jiang Yu channels a dark power, unleashing the curse as he strikes, sending his opponent flying into the structure. Gasping for breath, Jiang Yu acknowledges his carelessness, realizing the purple-haired attacker's persistent attempts to exploit his weaknesses. The purple-haired attacker, despite the blows, remains a formidable threat, his shadowy form glowing with malevolent red energy. Jiang Yu contemplates his options, acknowledging the danger but dismissing the idea of escape, stating that retreating is not his style. Gripping the remains of his weapon, Jiang Yu expresses his resolve, realizing the purple-haired attacker has only 20% health left, concluding it will be a tough day. The night watchman observes, noting that the purple-haired attacker was badly wounded in the right rib, a key point to target. Jiang Yu moves with incredible speed, a blur of blue energy, executing a clear and precise maneuver. Purple-haired attacker stands firm, his menacing form radiating intense red energy, ready for the next strike. A confident smirk plays on Jiang Yu's lips, hinting at his next move. Jiang Yu's afterimages surround the purple-haired attacker, a dizzying display of speed as he declares his opponent is left open once more. A powerful impact strikes the purple-haired attacker's leg, causing his shadowy form to ripple with the force. The purple-haired attacker lets out a pained cry as a system notification flashes, revealing his health has dropped to a critical 8%. He retaliates with a devastating aerial strike, unleashing a torrent of red energy from above, forcing Jiang Yu to dodge. Jiang Yu looks up, surprised by the sudden, powerful counterattack, questioning if he should run away. The night watchman is caught off guard, forced to quickly evade a sweeping attack from the enraged purple-haired attacker. With a look of urgency, the night watchman yells, urging someone to move quickly. Night watchman looks down in horror as the monstrous purple-haired attacker looms over Lu Yao and Dr. Xiao, who are cowering on the ground. The purple-haired attacker's eyes glow with malevolent intent, his fanged maw open wide as he targets Lu Yao and Dr. Xiao, confirming his sinister objective. The monstrous, shadowy form of the purple-haired attacker, radiating malevolent red energy, lunges forward, its fanged maw wide open, directly at Jiang Yu and Lu Yao. Jiang Yu clutches Lu Yao tightly, shielding her. Purple-haired attacker's monstrous form screams, its fanged maw stretching impossibly wide, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth as the crimson energy intensifies around its glowing red eyes. Enveloped by the encroaching crimson spikes, Jiang Yu desperately shouts to stop the attack, his eyes wide with fear as he cradles Lu Yao, shielding her from the imminent danger. Jiang Yu unleashes his own power, a vibrant blue energy surging around him as he extends his arm, preparing to intercept the attack with a resolute expression. Activating a powerful blue energy shield emblazoned with a golden pattern, Jiang Yu charges forward, putting himself directly in the path of the incoming assault. The purple-haired attacker's monstrous form collides with Jiang Yu's formidable blue energy shield, the impact generating a fierce shockwave as the shield holds firm. The purple-haired attacker's grotesque visage snarls, its relentless assault continuing to press against Jiang Yu's shimmering barrier, which reflects its distorted form. The monstrous jaws of the purple-haired attacker snap violently against Jiang Yu's defense, its glowing red eyes fixated on breaching the barrier. A sharp, spiraling blue energy projectile, launched by Jiang Yu, strikes the purple-haired attacker's monstrous form, attempting to disrupt its concentrated assault. Dr. Xiao's face contorts with a mix of anguish and fierce resolve as purple energy begins to emanate from him, his hand reaching out towards the still attacking purple-haired attacker. The surge of blue energy, Dr. Xiao leaps into the fray, delivering a powerful aerial punch while letting out a battle cry. Dr. Xiao's powerful punch connects squarely with the purple-haired attacker's monstrous head, causing it to recoil violently as red lightning crackles around its form. The purple-haired attacker's monstrous body spins uncontrollably from the force of the blow, its form writhing in pain as Dr. Xiao lands, a triumphant laugh escaping his lips. A critical system notification flashes, revealing Dr. Xiao's life force plummeting from 15% to a mere 8%. He collapses, coughing up blood, desperately gasping for help. The purple-haired attacker's monstrous eyes glow with renewed menace as Dr. Xiao lies on the ground, ensnared by crimson energy spikes, struggling to speak. The purple-haired attacker unleashes a barrage of crimson energy attacks upon the fallen Dr. Xiao, who screams in agony as the blows connect. Jiang Yu's eyes glow with a fierce, murderous intent, a chilling grin spreading across his face as he vows to eliminate the purple-haired attacker. Enraged, Jiang Yu lunges forward, seizing the purple-haired attacker's monstrous head in a vice-like grip, blue energy crackling violently around his form. A system notification reveals the purple-haired attacker's health bar dropping from 15% to 14%, indicating Jiang Yu's attack landed a critical blow. Jiang Yu maintains his crushing grip on the purple-haired attacker's head, the monster's face contorted in agony from the sustained assault. Standing over the pinned purple-haired attacker, Jiang Yu unleashes a torrent of dark energy, taunting his foe and calling it an alien species for its persistent defiance. The purple-haired attacker's monstrous form is enveloped in swirling red energy, revealing a pulsating white core in its chest, which prompts Jiang Yu to question its cannibalism and wonder what he's witnessing. Jiang Yu's eyes widen in shock, a streak of blood on his cheek as he reacts to the unexpected power emanating from the purple-haired attacker, red energy still swirling around him. Ignoring the new threat, Jiang Yu slams the purple-haired attacker's monstrous form into the ground with overwhelming force, blue energy erupting around him as the monster screams. Jiang Yu unleashes a devastating punch, imbued with explosive red energy, screaming killing, as his body radiates both red and blue power, signaling a decisive strike. Jiang Yu stands at the epicenter of a colossal explosion, his form radiating intense red and blue energy as the ground shatters beneath the sheer force of his attack. The explosive wave of energy continues to expand, tearing through the surroundings as Jiang Yu's power dominates the scene. The overwhelming power culminates in a blinding flash of white and crimson energy, utterly engulfing the purple-haired attacker's monstrous form in its destructive wake. Jiang Yu stands battered and bleeding, his face and shirt stained with crimson, as he coughs weakly, utterly exhausted from unleashing his devastating power. The ground is left deeply scarred and fractured, with debris suspended in the air, a testament to the immense destructive power unleashed during the fierce battle. Immense destructive power leaves Jiang Yu standing on a fractured ground, surrounded by floating debris and a pulsating blue energy emanating from his feet. The remnants of the unleashed power continue to swirl, with debris and shattered structures highlighting the raw force that ripped through the area. Fractures spiderweb across the ground as smaller fragments of the environment slowly descend, settling in the wake of the devastating impact. A somber flashback reveals a bloodied figure, hunched over and protecting two small, vulnerable children amidst the ruins of a desolate street. Jiang Yu, his face and clothes splattered with blood, clutches his head, a complex mix of pain and fierce resolve etched onto his features. With blood streaking down his face, Jiang Yu grits his teeth, declaring that he finally achieved his revenge. The scene blurs, as if viewed through a distorted lens, showing the figure still protecting the children in the ruined street. A hand reaches out from the foreground, attempting to touch or clear the obscured vision of the past, as if waking from a nightmare. The blurry vision gives way to a dark silhouette of Jiang Yu's head, his hand still extended as he struggles to fully awaken. From the deep shadows, an eerie, glowing eye-like structure emerges, hinting at something unnatural lurking in the darkness. A mangled traffic light stands as a grim monument amidst a landscape of fire and smoke, with debris raining down from a ravaged sky. Cityscape is a scene of utter devastation, with buildings ablaze and multiple bodies sprawled across the ground, silent witnesses to the destruction. An aerial view reveals a vast city consumed by raging fires and thick smoke, as a voice questions if this catastrophic scene is the gathering place. Jiang Yu surveys the ravaged city, his expression one of shock and confusion, as he asks an unseen entity, "How did you get here?" Jiang Yu's eyes widen in stark alarm, reflecting an unsettling sight that has just captured his attention. Suddenly, Jiang Yu finds himself encircled by a horde of shadowy, monstrous entities, their glowing red eyes fixing menacingly upon him. A monstrous creature with razor-sharp teeth and glowing red eyes looms forward as a thought bubble questions its nature. Alien! Bloodied and vulnerable, Jiang Yu is overwhelmed as numerous shadowy, crimson hands reach out to grasp him from all directions. Terror fills Jiang Yu's eyes as red, crackling energy envelopes him, forcing a desperate exclamation from his lips. This? Jiang Yu's form is consumed by a violent vortex of swirling red and black energy, his body contorting within the powerful surge. A crimson vortex spirals violently in the ground, pulling surrounding debris into its depths, as a voice exclaims, "Yes, dash!" The burning city continues to suffer, with fresh explosions erupting across the landscape, intensifying the widespread devastation. The narrator paints a grim picture, a world of a disappearing sun, fragmented earth, and a dimming spark. Superheroes navigate treacherous paths as shadows stir with unseen activity and distant shouts. Narration continues, reflecting on the nature of death. For those silent, fighting, or already gone, it is a profound mystery, understood by few. A hand reaches out towards a blurry figure, a desperate cry of, "Stop!" followed by a concerned voice asking, "Hello, are you still alive?" Yu sits up, disoriented but alive, acknowledging the presence of another figure kneeling beside him, realizing with relief that the terrifying ordeal was merely a dream. Holding a fragment of a defeated monstrous creature, Yu muses, unable to recall anything after the decisive blow against the alien species. A hand gently touches the monstrous fragment as a system notification or internal thought reveals the ability shade eating. A confident smile spreads across Yu's face as dark, ethereal energy swirls around him, hinting at his growing power. The purple-haired attacker, concerned, asks Yu if he is alright and why he remains silent, to which Yu manages a hesitant, broken reply. Purple-haired attacker, gravely injured, reflects on his dire state. His system displays a critical 10% health, a condition usually considered dying, yet with a slim 30 to 70% chance of survival if immediate action is taken. Yu looks up, a questioning mark hanging in the air as the purple-haired attacker's bandaged hand rests on his shoulder, a silent gesture of his presence. The purple-haired attacker, weakened and seeking support, leans against a grimy wall amidst the urban night, a desperate plea for help echoing in his mind. A wave of pain washes over the purple-haired attacker as he slumps further against the wall, his legs splayed out, a testament to his severe injuries. Yu also finds himself sitting on the ground, perhaps from exhaustion or the shock of the preceding events, his hand resting on the concrete. The purple-haired attacker, catching his breath, questions Yu, wondering if he is, in fact, a night watchman. Yu, surprised, ponders internally why the purple-haired attacker doesn't recognize him, given they live in the same building. Yu internally muses about his apparent invisibility to the purple-haired attacker. The attacker then directly denies being a night watchman. With a bloody smile, the purple-haired attacker reiterates his denial, stating it's tough enough just to fight, let alone be a night watchman. In a moment of light-hearted banter, the purple-haired attacker laughs, claiming not all night guardians are strong, while Yu wonders if his savior has forgotten he was rescued. The purple-haired attacker, still smiling despite his injuries, playfully assures Yu that he was just kidding, complimenting his appearance. Purple-haired attacker continues to joke, mentioning using soy sauce to get rid of exotics, a feat no one has accomplished before Yu, prompting Yu to ask if he's truly alright. Yu observes the purple-haired attacker, still laughing despite his condition, pondering if all night guards maintain such a cheerful demeanor. The purple-haired attacker asks Yu about his university and age, to which Yu replies he's in his second year at Beidou Shifu, while internally deciding to keep his true affairs private. Purple-haired attacker then inquires if Yu's major is liberal arts or martial arts, as Yu internally notes how quickly his companion has grown comfortable. The purple-haired attacker muses to himself that it must be martial arts, as liberal arts wouldn't suit someone who can't handle mediocrity. Yu, looking slightly exasperated, asks the purple-haired attacker if he has a cigarette, then questions his own request. The purple-haired attacker offers a packet of Poke biscuits, stating it's all he has, which Yu accepts, thinking why not. Two hands carefully break a Poke stick, preparing to share the simple snack. From Yu's perspective, the purple-haired attacker offers him a Poke stick, telling him to help himself and eat it. Purple-haired attacker gestures towards the scattered biscuit pieces, explaining that many were destroyed in battle, but he can still pick some up for Yu. The two men sit against the wall, a quiet moment passing between them as Yu holds a biscuit stick in his mouth. The purple-haired attacker casually asks if this is Yu's first time hunting an alien alone, to which Yu confirms it is. With a sigh, the purple-haired attacker expresses his envy for those born with strong combat abilities and potential, unlike himself, who feels weak and hopeless. Yu advises the purple-haired attacker to conserve energy and await rescue, but the injured man insists he just wants someone to talk to. The purple-haired attacker laments the weak will of civil servants, comparing their core strength to mere cotton wool, as blue energy crackles around his bandaged hand. With growing blue energy emanating from his hand, the purple-haired attacker questions how they can resist when pollution arrives like a relentless tide. Yu, with a thoughtful expression, asks the purple-haired attacker if he has any regrets, while internally considering his own choice of path. The purple-haired attacker's bandaged fist glows intensely with blue energy, radiating a powerful, unstable aura. With a pained expression and his fist still crackling with energy, the purple-haired attacker emphatically declares his deep regret. Purple-haired attacker, still reeling from his profound regret, lets out a guttural scream, his face contorted in anguish. He clutches his chest, blood staining his tattered clothes as he desperately wishes for the simple life of an office worker, a stark contrast to his current torment. He laments his mentally ill state, trapped and unable to escape. As the purple-haired attacker continues to cry out in pain, Jiang Yu reaches out, his expression concerned, urging him to calm down. He warns that the purple-haired attacker cannot survive much longer in this condition. The purple-haired attacker, now seated and visibly weakened, points towards the unconscious Liu Yao. He reassures Jiang Yu that a rescue signal has been sent and help should be on its way. Jiang Yu, kneeling over a glowing device on the ground, expresses deep concern, wondering about the fate of others still caught in the chaos. A close-up reveals Jiang Yu's hand pressing firmly on the illuminated, rectangular device, its light pulsating faintly. The purple-haired attacker, still on the ground, advises Jiang Yu not to wander off, warning that his dodging and escaping skills won't always save him. He urges Jiang Yu to stay and wait for rescue. Jiang Yu, visibly frustrated, declares his strong desire to escape. He complains to the purple-haired attacker that he's more torturous than even aliens. A wide shot pans up between towering buildings under a hazy sky as the purple-haired attacker's voice resonates, beginning to recount a past event. Jiang Yu and the purple-haired attacker are seen resting against a brick wall, the purple-haired attacker reminiscing about Jiang Yu's unexpected bravery during a past intervention. Purple-haired attacker continues his story, mentioning a single swift strike from the past. He then asks Jiang Yu to deliver an apology to the head of the Supernatural Technologies Department at the Martial Arts Science Institute. With a slight smile, the purple-haired attacker elaborates on his message, instructing Jiang Yu to convey his disappointment for failing to kill a first-class strange creature. Jiang Yu looks on, a mix of exasperation and amusement on his face, as he rubs his forehead, seemingly overwhelmed by the purple-haired attacker's many requests. The purple-haired attacker adds another request, asking Jiang Yu to send his regards to Deputy Director Huang from the Academy of Supernatural Literature, thanking her for her guidance and advice against arrogance. Jiang Yu smiles, playfully suggesting that the purple-haired attacker could wait to recover and deliver these messages in person, rather than burdening him. Purple-haired attacker's expression turns serious as he explains that he has carried these words in his heart for a long time, emphasizing their importance to him. He continues, expressing a desire to find someone to talk to, and wistfully recalls the Northern Watch Academy, longing for a return to a simpler past. Still lost in thought, the purple-haired attacker extends his hand, almost childlike, asking if they have more cookies, specifically requesting 2 more of the spicy stick flavor. Jiang Yu, with a wry smile, points out the purple-haired attacker's strange taste, adding that spicy stick-flavored cookies don't even exist. With a sigh, the purple-haired attacker concedes, letting his hand drop. He acknowledges the absurdity and decides to forget about the imaginary cookies. Wide shot reveals the intricate, almost futuristic cityscape with glowing energy lines weaving through the buildings, hinting at an approaching presence. The purple-haired attacker observes the scene, noting the arrival of a night patrol officer, his gaze fixed on the approaching figure while Jiang Yu stands beside him. Jiang Yu's face lights up with relief, a wide smile spreading across his features as he declares they are finally saved, thankful for someone's arrival. Close-up shows a hand gripping a white plastic bag, confirming the presence of the newly arrived individual, presumably the night watchman. Jiang Yu stands, facing away from the camera, looking towards the night watchman, who approaches with a bag in hand, while the purple-haired attacker remains seated on the ground. The purple-haired attacker looks at Jiang Yu, his expression serious, asking if he intends to come along with him. Jiang Yu, with a confident and slightly mischievous smile, declines the offer, stating that he will go alone. Purple-haired attacker returns a smile, wishing Jiang Yu well and a safe journey, accepting his decision to depart alone. Jiang Yu acknowledges the purple-haired attacker's words with a thoughtful expression, a hint of surprise in his eyes. A striking visual depicts Jiang Yu and the purple-haired attacker on opposite sides of a glowing green divide, symbolizing their diverging paths. Purple-haired attacker watches from a distance as Jiang Yu, carrying his bag, walks away and disappears into the urban landscape, leaving him behind. A mysterious blue and black energy array suddenly activates around Jiang Yu, trapping him within its intricate patterns as he stands bewildered. Jiang Yu's eyes gleam with a mix of surprise and resolve, his face marked by the residue of recent struggles. One of the masked uniformed men observes the grim scene, noting a fallen night patrol officer, the purple-haired attacker, and mentions 2 children nearby, though none are visible. As Jiang Yu watches from a distance, still surrounded by swirling dark energy, one of the masked figures issues a sharp command, "Check their vital signs." A close inspection of the purple-haired attacker reveals his critical condition, with a status bar displaying a mere 10% remaining. Uniformed men react grimly to the purple-haired attacker's dire state, their expressions reflecting the severity of the situation. Jiang Yu's yellow eye sharpens, a subtle drip sound effect indicating a sudden shift in his perception or a moment of intense realization. The purple-haired attacker's life force rapidly dissipates, his status bar plummeting to 5% as his form begins to fragment into glowing blue and red particles. The purple-haired attacker's disintegration intensifies on the ground, surrounded by shimmering blue light as the uniformed men watch the tragic scene unfold. One of the masked uniformed men snaps to attention, delivering a solemn salute as the purple-haired attacker's life force completely fades. The status bar flashes, confirming the purple-haired attacker's complete demise with a definitive 0%, accompanied by a drip-drip sound effect. The purple-haired attacker's form completely dissipates, leaving only a cascade of shimmering blue and red particles, his presence erased. Final, blinding flash consumes the last remnants of the purple-haired attacker, leaving nothing but scattered light in his wake. Jiang Yu's eyes widen in alarm, a desperate cry of "wait" escaping him as he instinctively reaches out, surrounded by the swirling dark energy. Dark blue energy swirls violently around Jiang Yu's outstretched hand, a wailing sound effect echoing his silent despair. A raw, emotional cry of "help" echoes from Jiang Yu, his face contorted in a mask of despair as the uniformed men observe him. Sudden shift in reality leaves Jiang Yu disoriented, his emotional outburst perceived as a mere theatrical performance by the indifferent crowd who comment on the noisy spectacle. Jiang Yu's troubled expression deepens as a voice from within, or a system prompt, reminds him of his status as an exceptional being. A holographic projection of a stern white-haired man appears before Jiang Yu, his voice echoing a crucial reminder, "Please remember." The holographic man's stern voice continues, urging Jiang Yu, even at the last moment, "You must not give up," acknowledging his slim chances of survival. Holographic message reveals the terrifying truth. Consuming compound number 3 unlocks immense potential, but carries a 90% probability of death, a sacrifice to prosper the great Chu nation. The message concludes with a chilling call to duty, urging the consumption of compound number 3 and the ultimate sacrifice for the nation, as countless soldiers stand ready. The vision expands to a grand scale, depicting soldiers gazing at the stars, transcending human limits, and proudly declaring themselves the Night Observation Department. The elevator silently ascends, its display indicating the 8th floor with a green-up arrow, accompanied by faint whooshing sounds. Jiang Yu, his hooded jacket still stained with blood, emerges from the elevator, carrying his bag, his face obscured by the shadow of his hood. A wave of sorrow washes over Jiang Yu as he questions internally, "Did Big Brother really die like this?" Jiang Yu walks down the quiet hallway, lost in his thoughts, the weight of recent events heavy on his mind, a faint humming sound in the air. The memory of the purple-haired attacker laughing and talking moments before his demise haunts Jiang Yu, a chuckling sound effect underscoring his internal turmoil. Reflecting on their last interaction, Jiang Yu realizes the purple-haired attacker's final moments were simply a desperate search for someone to talk to before facing his inevitable end. The key slides into the lock, a silent click echoing the somber thought that some lives, even those of powerful individuals, simply fade away without ceremony, like an ordinary person. Door creaks open, revealing the quiet sanctuary of home, yet the lingering thought persists, no matter how ordinary a life's end may seem. Jiang Yu steps into his apartment, a grocery bag in hand, a silent vow forming in his mind that he will always remember the purple-haired attacker. He pulls back his hood, a weary sigh escaping his lips as the grime of battle still clings to his face. Slumping down, Jiang Yu acknowledges his exhaustion, muttering to himself that after a long, arduous day, a wash and sleep are desperately needed. Catching his reflection, Jiang Yu is surprised by the extent of his injuries, remarking that despite struggling to walk, he still has half his blood left when he'd assumed only 20% remained. Standing before the refrigerator, Jiang Yu sighs, comparing himself to a certain big brother who could act unfazed with only 10% of his blood remaining, realizing he still has a long path to reach that level of resilience. As he reaches into the fridge for a quick bite, Jiang Yu concludes that mere physical exercise is insufficient for true power. He places the food on the counter, realizing that willpower, too, must keep pace with physical strength. Suddenly, Jiang Yu drops his food, a panicked thought striking him. What about the eggs? From the sofa, Lu Yao complains that her phone isn't working and she can't find anyone, then pointedly asks Jiang Yu if he went to the chicken coop for eggs when she had specifically asked him to buy them. Jiang Yu manages an awkward smirk, trying to explain that with Chinese New Year approaching, the queues for eggs are impossibly long. Lu Yao sits up, her expression shifting as she abruptly asks Jiang Yu how he managed to obtain her house key. Standing up, Lu Yao explains that Uncle Li, having asked her to look after Jiang Yu because he orders takeout daily, had entrusted Jiang Yu with a spare key to her apartment. Lu Yao's expression turns to concern as she notices Jiang Yu's injuries, asking what happened and if someone attacked him outside. Jiang Yu, still hooded, offers an awkward smile, telling Lu Yao it's late and she should return to sleep to avoid Uncle Lu misunderstanding the situation again. Lu Yao firmly grabs Jiang Yu's arm, demanding he turn around, while he, attempting to pull away, declares he's hungry and will make instant noodles first. Lu Yao tightens her grip on Jiang Yu's pants leg, insisting that he shouldn't leave yet. Her eyes, wide with intense concern, fixate on Jiang Yu, demanding answers. Jiang Yu's injured face is visible as Lu Yao presses him, asking how he got hurt so badly. As Lu Yao tugs at his jacket, Jiang Yu sheepishly admits he forgot the eggs. Lu Yao, however, refuses to let go, demanding to know where he truly went, while Jiang Yu insists he didn't go anywhere, urging her to release him. Lu Yao firmly states she won't release him until he tells the truth. Jiang Yu, finally relenting, explains to Lu Yao that he intervened in a robbery on his way back. He quickly adds that he beat the robber so severely that even the police chief almost couldn't recognize the culprit, warning her not to look at him with pity. Jiang Yu boasts about his lightning-fast reactions, detailing a flurry of left hooks, right hooks, uppercuts, and combination punches, claiming he beat the robber so brutally that even his own mother wouldn't recognize him, blurring the line between human and animal. Lu Yao covers her eyes, seemingly imagining the scene. Jiang Yu touches his cheek, his expression turning slightly sheepish as he pauses, implying there's more to his story. Lu Yao's eyes widen slightly in a soft gasp of realization, processing Jiang Yu's embellished tale. In a moment of quiet, Lu Yao gently dabs the dirt and blood from Jiang Yu's face with a tissue. Jiang Yu's face contorts in exaggerated horror, an internal scream echoing, "Oh my god, she wouldn't actually believe my nonsense, would she?" Forgotten sausages and cup of noodles lie abandoned on the floor, a testament to the sudden distraction. Jiang Yu lets out a soft sigh, standing quietly with Lu Yao in the illuminated apartment. Lu Yao looks at Jiang Yu with genuine concern, her eyes focused as she quietly asks, "Does it hurt?" Jiang Yu offers a reassuring smile, his hand gently touching his cheek as he dismisses Lu Yao's concern, telling her the injuries don't hurt and urging her to go back to sleep. Lu Yao remains silent, her expression a mix of concern and slight frustration, clearly not convinced by Jiang Yu's casual demeanor. Crossing her arms, Lu Yao sternly declares her intention to report Jiang Yu's late-night brawl to Uncle Li, catching Jiang Yu completely off guard. A comical struggle, Jiang Yu desperately tries to explain that his actions were righteous, not a mere fight, as Lu Yao stubbornly drags him away, refusing to let him off the hook. Suddenly, Jiang Yu collapses to the floor, feigning extreme weakness and pain, while Lu Yao looks on in alarm, asking if he's alright. Lu Yao insists that Jiang Yu's injuries require hospital treatment, but he quickly dismisses the idea, explaining that Uncle Li's specialized medicine from the night patrol office is far more effective than anything a hospital could offer. The knowing smirk, Lu Yao calls out Jiang Yu's true intention, suggesting he merely wants her to apply the medicine, to which he gratefully responds, addressing her playfully as "Dear Lu." Jiang Yu's face contorts in agony, muffled by bandages, as he screams in pain from the application of the medicine. Completely wrapped in bandages, resembling a mummy, Jiang Yu loudly protests the excessive treatment while Lu Yao sits calmly beside him, a hint of satisfaction on her face. Lu Yao playfully pokes Jiang Yu's bandaged shoulder, warning him against showing off again, to which he quickly and emphatically promises not to get involved in any future incidents. Lu Yao demands a solemn promise from Jiang Yu, who, in a chibi art style, defiantly refuses to swear, hinting at his mischievous nature. Lu Yao leans over Jiang Yu, exasperated, stating that it's human nature to be curious, and she'll only observe from a distance, prompting Jiang Yu to demand she repeat herself in disbelief. Jiang Yu, looking nervous and sweating, reiterates his promise, insisting he will only take a look and won't do anything in future situations. Lu Yao, with a confident stance, announces her departure, while Jiang Yu, lounging on the sofa, cheekily asks if she wants to stay overnight, mentioning his large bed. Lu Yao dismisses Jiang Yu's suggestion with a playful "bah," sticking out her tongue in a sassy gesture. Door clicks shut, signifying Lu Yao's departure and leaving Jiang Yu alone. From an overhead perspective, Jiang Yu lies thoughtfully on the sofa, the quiet of the room settling around him after Lu Yao's exit. Jiang Yu, still bandaged, rests on the sofa, his thoughts drifting to a message from his big brother about guarding the Northern Watch Academy. His eyes snap open, wide with a sudden realization or question, as a thought strikes him. Jiang Yu quickly sits up on the sofa, a look of surprise and confusion on his face as he processes a new thought. In a chibi moment of realization, Jiang Yu exclaims that his big brother never told him his name. A glowing green symbol, pulsating with energy, appears against a backdrop of swirling blue and black shadows, indicating a system prompt or skill activation. A system window appears, detailing a shadow ghost species named Jiangyu, an intermediate first-order abyssal creature capable of strong power in shadows, noting its killing cost of an arm fracture, and the shadow devouring harvest ability, granting shadow strike and increasing shadow points. The system confirms the creature is recorded and its cost exempted. As night falls outside his window, Jiangyu ponders whether mutant kills are automatically recorded in the system manual. Jiangyu, still on the sofa, looks at a glowing blue interface, wondering if he needs to actively absorb mutants through the Shadow Devour ability for them to be recorded. Jiangyu's face is illuminated by a burst of golden light, indicating a sudden understanding or system prompt activation. System notification reveals the Shadow Assault skill, explaining that it allows easier targeting of weak points and massive damage on the first strike from unseen shadows. Jiangyu decides to examine his newly acquired skill. Jiangyu stands stiffly in his room, still bandaged, preparing to test his new ability. With a confident smirk, Jiangyu strikes a dynamic pose, declaring the activation of Shadow Assault. A chibified Jiangyu stands thoughtfully in his room, a subtle trail of energy swirling around him, contemplating the effects of his activated skill. Jiangyu, still bandaged, attempts to activate his skill, but a surge of frustration washes over him as he exclaims that it doesn't work at all, wondering if the system is playing tricks on him. A sudden realization dawns upon Jiangyu, his eyes widening slightly as he considers the possibility that there might be no target available to activate the skill on. With a sigh, Jiangyu decides to postpone his attempts, stating he will try again later when the opportunity arises. A hand, presumably Jiangyu's, reaches out to interact with a vibrant, glowing system wheel, its segments marked with mysterious characters, hinting at a new selection or activation. The system displays Jiangyu's updated profile, revealing his shadow attribute, 14 and 14 shadow points, and a new rogue position that can be activated, along with abilities like Shadow Devour, Shadow Eyes, and Shadow Form. Jiangyu scrutinizes the system's description of rogue, which defines him as a natural assassin who thrives in the shadows, yet he questions the phrasing, wondering if it should be hunting in the light instead of hunting in the darkness. A system notification appears, explaining that his shadow has transformed, allowing him to manipulate it and merge with it to enter a special form. Jiangyu, intrigued, asks if shadow form is yet another new skill. The system details the characteristics of shadow form, including unexpected training rewards, enhanced concealment, boosted physical abilities and healing, and the ability to use it without energy in the shadow realm. Jiangyu is astonished, exclaiming that the fourth point, which states he has no fatal body parts, is simply unbelievable. The system clarifies that even if beheaded in shadow form, his HP will only decrease by 99% and he won't die. Jiangyu reacts with a surprised, huh. Jiangyu comically despairs at the prospect of losing 99% of his HP, questioning how he could possibly be saved and sarcastically suggesting it would be better to just die quickly. Shaking off his complaints, Jiangyu concedes that the ability is still quite good and decides to test it, commanding his shadow to appear. From the floor, a dark, amorphous shadow begins to coalesce, swirling with nascent energy. Shadow rapidly expands and solidifies, taking on a distinct humanoid form, a silent, dark reflection of Jiangyu. Jiangyu observes the shadow, a thoughtful expression on his face as he extends a hand, as if to greet or command his new manifestation. The shadow perfectly mirrors Jiangyu's pose, its form a stark silhouette against the room's light, emphasizing their connection. With soft glow, Jiangyu's finger meets the shadow's, a delicate yet powerful connection forming between them, radiating energy. Streams of dark, glowing energy flow from the point of contact, weaving around Jiangyu's hand, signifying a merging process or a transfer of power. Intricate, shadowy patterns begin to spread across Jiangyu's neck and shoulder, marking his skin as the transformation takes hold. Jiangyu's body is engulfed in a powerful aura of black and vibrant blue energy, his form blurring as he undergoes a profound transformation. A luminous green orb, inscribed with ancient symbols, manifests amidst swirling dark and blue energy, signaling the emergence of a new power or entity. The system displays the details of a shadow ghost creature named Jiangyu, an intermediate first-order abyssal being with powerful shadow abilities, noting its killing cost, arm fracture, but exempting it as it's already recorded. Jiangyu gazes out at the starry night sky, pondering whether the kills of mutants are automatically recorded in the system manual. Still seated, Jiangyu continues his internal monologue, questioning if he needs to absorb the mutants through Shadow Devour for them to be properly recorded. Golden particles erupt around Jiangyu's face, his eyes glowing with renewed focus, indicating a sudden thought or a system prompt engaging his senses. The system introduces Shadow Assault, a skill that allows Jiang Yu to easily capture weak points and deal massive damage with the first strike when attacking from unseen shadows. He decides to examine this newly acquired skill. Jiang Yu stands in his room, his bandaged hands clenched, preparing to test his new ability amidst the soft glow of his apartment. With a confident smirk and a precise hand gesture, Jiang Yu activates Shadow Assault, ready to unleash its power. A chibified Jiang Yu stands thoughtfully in his room, a subtle trail of energy swirling around him, contemplating the effects of his activated skill. Jiang Yu, still bandaged, stretches his arms wide, deciding to set aside his current thoughts, stating he will try again when the opportunity arises. New system interface appears, revealing a vibrant spinning wheel as Jiang Yu's finger hovers over it, ready to initiate a new action. The system displays Jiang Yu's updated profile, revealing his Shadow attribute and 1414 Shadow points. His new position is identified as Rogue, a role that can be activated, granting abilities like Shadow Devour, Shadow Eyes, and Shadow Form. The system further defines a Rogue as a natural assassin, thriving in the shadows, sneak in the darkness, hunt in the dark. Jiang Yu ponders the system's peculiar wording, questioning how this cheat could generate such specific game lines and why it emphasizes hunting in the darkness instead of hunting in the light. A system notification reveals that Jiang Yu's shadow has transformed, granting him the ability to manipulate it and merge with it to enter a special form. Jiang Yu, pointing at the text, wonders aloud if shadow form is yet another new skill. System details the formidable characteristics of Jiang Yu's shadow form, granting unexpected rewards during training, enhancing physical abilities and healing, concealing his aura, and allowing use without energy consumption in the shadow realm. Most astonishingly, the fourth point reveals that in this form, he has no fatal body parts, making beheading merely deduct a large amount of HP instead of causing immediate death. Jiang Yu exclaims in delight, marveling at the incredible power of this cheat code, especially the unbelievable invincibility granted by the fourth point. Jiang Yu's hand points to the system's shocking clarification. Even if beheaded, his HP will decrease by a staggering 99%, but he will not die. He reacts with a bewildered huh? A chibified Jiang Yu, aghast, clutches a shattered system window, exclaiming that a 99% HP reduction is practically a death sentence, questioning how he could possibly be saved, and sarcastically suggesting a quick death would be preferable. Shaking off his complaints, Jiang Yu concedes that the ability is still remarkably powerful. He decides to test it out, commanding his shadow come out. From the floor, a dark, amorphous shadow begins to coalesce, its form outlined by a faint blue glow. The coalescing shadow now stands as a distinct, humanoid silhouette, emanating a powerful aura as Jiang Yu observes his summoned form. Jiang Yu raises his right hand, a thoughtful expression on his face as he contemplates the connection with his summoned shadow. Mirroring Jiang Yu's gesture, the shadowy figure also raises its hand, showing an immediate connection and responsiveness. Jiang Yu's index finger makes contact with that of his shadow counterpart, a brilliant flash of light erupting at the point of their touch. Streams of vibrant blue and dark energy surge and coil around Jiang Yu's arm, intertwining as the transformation begins. The shadowy energy spreads across Jiang Yu's neck and face, manifesting as intricate black patterns with glowing blue outlines, transforming his appearance with an intense gaze. Jiang Yu's entire being is enveloped in a powerful, crackling aura of blue and black energy, his form shifting into a shadowy silhouette as the transformation completes. With blue energy still swirling around his arm, Jiang Yu realizes the immense power of his new state, pondering that even divine beings would suffer damage from his attacks. Jiang Yu's eye glows with a fierce blue light as the system confirms that activating shadow form significantly strengthens his execution ability, lowering the health threshold required. The system further clarifies execution. When a target's health reaches a critical limit, their health bar turns crimson, revealing a fatal spot for Jiang Yu to exploit, as demonstrated by an image of a pig with a glowing red weak point. His powerful shadow form, Jiang Yu strikes at a shadowy target, the system confirming that hitting a fatal spot initiates an execution to completely eliminate the target. The required health threshold for this execution is dynamically influenced by the strength, abilities, and positions of both combatants. Reverting to his normal, bandaged state, Jiang Yu stands by his window, gazing out with a contemplative expression. Jiang Yu's eyes widen in shock as a monstrous, red-glowing shadow looms above him, triggering a sudden realization. The execution ability must be connected to the ominous red spot that appeared on the previous monster he faced. His thoughts race, connecting the dots, absolute damage combined with execution. Confident smile spreads across Jiang Yu's face as he begins to articulate his overwhelming feeling. Standing triumphantly by the window, Jiang Yu raises his arm, declaring with absolute certainty that he feels invincible. A sudden realization flashes in Zhang Yu's yellow eyes as he exclaims, "Wait!" Zhang Yu's mind races, questioning if his incredible recovery stems from the recent activation of his shadow form. He marvels at the sheer potency of his healing ability, a power almost too strong to comprehend. Meanwhile, one of Zhang Yu's friends, holding a phone, asks Lu Yao about Zhang Yu's recent social media posts, wondering if his heroic tales of fighting villains and enduring 88 knife attacks without flinching are true or merely exaggerated. Dr. Xiao recounts a private message from Zhang Yu detailing an encounter with human traffickers, where he supposedly fought with a watermelon knife. The green-haired girl expresses concern, asking if Zhang Yu was truly injured and suggesting they visit him. Lu Yao, with a dismissive expression, tells her friend not to believe his nonsense, revealing that Zhang Yu was merely chased by a dog. The green-haired girl reacts with surprise, questioning Lu Yao's revelation. The aerial view of the bustling city serves as a backdrop as Lu Yao's internal thought echoes, confirming her belief that Zhang Yu is simply bragging again, his tales far from the truth. Lu Yao, leading the way, challenges her friends to see for themselves if they doubt her words, gesturing towards an apartment door as they approach. A close-up shot shows a hand inserting a key into the lock, the metallic click signaling their entry into Zhang Yu's apartment. Dr. Xiao, visibly surprised, questions Lu Yao, asking how she possesses Zhang Yu's house key, while Lu Yao reacts with a sudden, noticeable startle. Lu Yao, turning her head slightly, sheepishly explains that Zhang Yu's uncle gave her the key, eliciting a simple "oh" of understanding from her friends. Lu Yao calls out to Zhang Yu as she pushes the door open, her voice filled with concern, but her words quickly turn into a startled scream as she sees something shocking inside. Inside, Zhang Yu is seen kneeling on the floor, shirtless, clutching his abdomen in evident pain, confirming Lu Yao's fears of his injury. Zhang Yu grimaces, internally admitting he underestimated the wound, as scabs prove difficult to remove. Lu Yao's voice cuts through his thoughts, asking if he is okay. Lu Yao rushes to Zhang Yu's side, demanding to know why he removed his bandage. Zhang Yu sheepishly replies that he thought the wound had healed, so he took it off. Dr. Xiao and the green-haired girl exchange glances, a newfound realization dawning on them that Zhang Yu's social media posts about his heroic deeds might have contained a grain of truth after all. Both Dr. Xiao and the green-haired girl are astounded by Zhang Yu's suddenly muscular physique, exclaiming in awe. They jokingly connect his new strength to his supposed bravery in fighting human traffickers. Lu Yao, asserting her authority, firmly tells her friends to stop staring and move to the living room, to which they respond with a compliant, "Got it, don't push." Dr. Xiao and the green-haired girl turn their backs, walking away as instructed, leaving Zhang Yu and Lu Yao alone. In a moment of hushed speculation, the green-haired girl wonders if Lu Yao and Zhang Yu are now dating, to which Dr. Xiao thoughtfully replies, "Most likely." A close-up reveals Lu Yao carefully applying medicine to Zhang Yu's wound as he lets out a pained sigh, admitting that it still hurts. Lu Yao, sitting beside Zhang Yu on the bed, scolds him for whining, confidently stating that she knows the medicine and it doesn't hurt at all. Zhang Yu's gaze drifts towards Lu Yao's exposed legs, a hint of distraction in his eyes as she continues to apply the medicine. Zhang Yu, attempting to deflect, playfully accuses Lu Yao of being kicked in the head by a donkey, questioning why she insists on opening his wound. Lu Yao pauses, a silent ellipsis hanging in the air, contemplating Zhang Yu's playful yet annoying remark as she continues to tend to his injury. Lu Yao sternly calls Zhang Yu perverted, threatening to have Xiaopeng apply the medicine instead. Zhang Yu quickly protests, deeming Xiaopeng clumsy and unsuitable for the task. Lu Yao's expression hardens, her eyes narrowing with a look of stern disapproval, clearly not amused by Zhang Yu's antics. Lu Yao playfully pinches Zhang Yu's cheek, suggesting that Uncle Li hasn't taken care of him enough. Zhang Yu, annoyed, retorts that even 800 times of care would be useless. Lu Yao, holding the medicine, presses Zhang Yu for the truth about yesterday, dismissing his previous claims about a robbery and questioning his credibility. Zhang Yu, with a confident smirk, maintains his facade, proudly declaring himself chivalrous and righteous, always standing up for justice. Lu Yao laughs, calling him out on his lies and challenging him to say one true thing. Zhang Yu internally wonders if she would believe him if he told her he killed a mutant in the Shadow Lair and spoke with the Night Patrol. Changing the subject, Zhang Yu asks Lu Yao what time Uncle Lu went back yesterday. Lu Yao, bandaging his arm, replies that he didn't go back and questions why Zhang Yu is asking. Zhang Yu sighs, reflecting on the harsh reality of being a night patrol. He muses that working both day and night shifts is incredibly tough, not to mention the constant danger. Lu Yao remains silent, her expression downcast as she processes Zhang Yu's words, the weight of their dangerous reality settling upon her. Jiang Yu's eyes narrow as he continues, stating grimly that few night patrols ever find peace. He recalls the tragic fates of others, like Uncle Li losing an arm and Lin Mo dying at just 20 years old. Jiang Yu lets out a heavy sigh, carrying a large water jug over his shoulder, the somber thoughts lingering in his mind. The quiet moment is broken as two unexpected visitors arrive, a green-haired woman and a plump man, who simply stare at Jiang Yu and Lu Yao in silence. The green-haired woman expresses her concern, stating that the situation is not what they heard yesterday and they came to see what was happening, asking Lu Yao if she is alright. Then, the plump man, looking at Lu Yao's bandaged arm, makes a crude comment about her injury, calling it a strawberry and questioning her forgiving nature. Lu Yao holds up two torn pieces of clothing, asking Jiang Yu if she should throw them away as she plans a trip to the supermarket. Jiang Yu simply gives his assent. Jiang Yu's eyes are wide, a bead of sweat on his brow, as he dramatically recounts a fabricated tale of 80 large men rushing from the woods, claiming he repeatedly struck them down with his knife. As Jiang Yu reaches out, Lu Yao accidentally drops a small white packet, which tumbles to the floor with a soft rustle. The dropped item is revealed to be a discreetly packaged sanitary pad, lying innocently on the wooden floor. Lu Yao's expression turns menacing, her eyes narrowed in fury as she demands to know why Jiang Yu brought this with him. Plump man quips that only couples with close feelings do such things, while the green-haired woman, holding her phone, gleefully suggests these moments should be shared with their entire class. In a fit of rage, a hand violently tears apart the sanitary pad packet, emphasizing the explosive tension in the room. The scene shifts to Lu Yao, her face flushed with embarrassment and anger, as she vehemently declares she doesn't need whatever is being offered. Chibi Jiang Yu recoils, a small wrapper fluttering away as a distinct thump echoes, his expression a mix of bewilderment and slight injury. Jiang Yu, rubbing a sore spot on his head, questions Lu Yao's sudden anger, wondering why she's upset for no apparent reason, a small, painful thought lingering. Scene abruptly shifts, with an encouraging voice declaring it's time to move on, urging strength for both individuals involved, expressing unwavering belief in them. With a satisfied smirk, Jiang Yu notes that everyone has left, finally granting him the peace of being undisturbed. Jiang Yu extends his hand, a surge of blue energy radiating outwards as he utters the command, Shadow. Powerful zing reverberates as Jiang Yu stands amidst a rapidly expanding circle of dark blue energy, spikes of power erupting from the ground around him. Shadowy tendrils, crackling with blue light, envelop Jiang Yu as he declares the essence of his power, the Dark Shadow. With his form partially obscured by swirling shadows and his eyes glowing blue, Jiang Yu announces his intention to begin a fun exercise. Jiang Yu stands fully transformed, a dark silhouette wreathed in vibrant blue energy, the power swirling intensely around him in his room. Rumbling sound accompanies Jiang Yu's silhouette as he is suspended upside down within a column of brilliant blue light encircled by ominous black energy rings. His glowing blue eyes snap open, and Jiang Yu observes his surroundings, noting with surprise how comfortable he feels, despite the supposed pollution of this realm. Jiang Yu, still glowing with blue energy, reflects on the profound sensation, likening it to escaping a polluted industrial zone and emerging into boundless, pristine plains. A system bar shows his current state at 50%. Jiang Yu confirms his recovery, noting his stomach pain has vanished and his health is restored. With a determined whoosh of energy, Jiang Yu extends his glowing hands and declares it's time to begin. A soft whoosh accompanies Jiang Yu as he crouches, his eyes wide and intense, blue energy coiling around his shadowy form. His arm and hand blur with speed, leaving trails of electric blue energy in their wake. The powerful whoosh, Jiang Yu's shadowy form rockets upwards, leaving a vibrant blue afterimage in a display of incredible speed. He lands with a resounding boom, creating a visible shockwave, a surprised "oh" escaping his lips at the force. A chibi Jiang Yu, his blue eyes sparkling with delight, laughs heartily, exclaiming he feels an unlimited wellspring of strength within his body. Jiang Yu moves with incredible speed, his shadowy form appearing in multiple blurs as he counts his repetitions, rapidly ascending from single digits to over 100. A system notification flashes, confirming the activation of dark form and entry into the shadow layer, granting Jiang Yu a sense of unparalleled liberation and freedom. As shadowy energy swirls around his face, a system notification reveals that Jiang Yu's exercise has activated Dark Devour, causing both his shadow points and physical strength to slightly increase. Holographic display projects Jiang Yu's form, surrounded by data streams, as a system message confirms his physical strength is incrementally increasing during the exercise. Within the holographic interface, a progress bar fills, repeatedly displaying +1 as Jiang Yu's physical strength continues its steady, slight increase. Jiang Yu's silhouette moves with a swift hiss, his form crackling with blue energy as he continues his rigorous exercise. With a decisive hiss, Jiang Yu concludes that his current location is too cramped and decides to take his exercise outdoors. Jiang Yu's silhouette now sits amidst outdoor gym equipment, his form still radiating blue energy as he continues his training in the open air. Gazing up at the towering city buildings, Jiang Yu muses on the real-world implications of his power, wondering why he wouldn't attract countless disciples if this were reality. As Jiang Yu contemplates the boundless potential of his new abilities, a surge of electric blue energy crackles around his shadowy form, demonstrating the raw power at his command. The decisive declaration, Jiang Yu asserts his new goal, to become the world champion in horizontal bar exercises, his shadowy clones mirroring his ambition with crackling energy. Meanwhile, the towering night patrol headquarters stands as a beacon of vigilance amidst the city's skyline, its very presence a silent promise of protection. Inside, the bustling activity of officials preparing for a crucial meeting signals a growing sense of urgency. During the meeting, an official reports that the fluctuations in the layer of darkness are unusually wide this time, with abnormal oscillations and pollution levels have significantly risen, spreading across a large area. The smoking man, listening intently, hears that squads B3, B7, A2, and others have successively discovered similar cracks in the northern, southern, and eastern regions. A female official then adds that these fluctuations are unusual and the area of effect is concentrated in residential areas, according to the frontline distribution map. She elaborates that this is a significant shift as the fluctuations are no longer randomly distributed as they were before. Smoking man, deep in thought, acknowledges that unusual activities have become more frequent lately. He continues, revealing that in the past couple of days, abnormal incidents occurred where people were dragged into the shadow layer. The documents reveal details of the missing individuals, hinting at the sinister nature of the shadow layer's pull. The grim expression, the smoking man warns that while it might seem rare, there's no telling if these strange creatures will increase, potentially causing more dangerous effects. He then shifts focus, emphasizing that compared to the disturbances in the shadow layer, the abyssal fissures are far more dangerous. With a serious gaze, the smoking man poses a chilling analogy. If the creatures inside the shadow layer are like ferocious wild beasts, then what emerges from the abyssal fissures is nothing short of a colossal, city-destroying Godzilla, a true harbinger of doom. Despite the dire warning, the smoking man tries to lighten the mood, calling for everyone to rejoice, perhaps in a sarcastic or desperate attempt to maintain morale. A muscular official dismisses the severity, stating that these are merely suspicions and there's no need to act as if the sky is falling. He confidently adds that they have been prepared for combat for a long time, implying readiness for any threat. The other officials listen in silence, their expressions unreadable as they process the conflicting perspectives. A faint smile plays on the muscular official's face, while his colleagues react with varying degrees of acceptance or skepticism. One official stands ready, holding documents, seemingly unfazed by the tension in the room. Another official scratches his head, perhaps contemplating the gravity of the situation, while others maintain a stoic demeanor. The muscular official then directs another colleague to proceed with their report, to which the colleague promptly replies, yes. The official outlines the next agenda item, a somber discussion about the night guards who recently lost their lives, highlighting the real cost of their ongoing battle. As the meeting progresses, the smoking man steps away, gazing out a window at the distant, towering city building under a foreboding sky. He reaches into his jacket pocket, his hand retrieving a pack of cigarettes. With a practiced motion, he places a cigarette between his lips, a moment of quiet contemplation before lighting it. The smoking man exhales, musing on the unfortunate timing of these troublesome events happening so close to the new year. Suddenly, his eyes widen in surprise, a sharp exclamation of what escaping his lips as something unexpected catches his attention. The smoking man's surprise quickly turns to annoyance as he realizes the supposed cigarette in his mouth is actually a cookie. He curses the mischievous girl who swapped his pack again. With a practiced flick, the smoking man sends the imposter cookie flying, retrieving a proper cigarette from his pack. His expression hardens, ready for serious business. Smoking man then offers a cigarette to Jiang Yu, who sits muscled and shirtless in the background. Jiang Yu, however, retorts with a casual jab, telling him not to always keep such a stern face. Ignoring the comment, the smoking man lights his cigarette, the tip glowing faintly as he takes a deep drag. With a sharp exhale, the smoking man cuts to the chase, telling Jiang Yu to stop talking nonsense and get to the point if he has something to ask. Jiang Yu presses the smoking man, asking if he's decided on his daughter's future path, specifically whether she'll pursue supernatural sciences or humanities. Suddenly, an emergency notification flashes across the sky, stating that those in the exceptional supernatural abilities category, 2nd grade or higher, must take an abilities test and select specialized skills. The smoking man responds, stating he hasn't decided yet and will wait for the test results. Exhaling a plume of smoke, the smoking man firmly declares his daughter will pursue none of them, his resolve evident despite the system's directive. Just then, a critical system report appears, detailing a new type of strange creature, code D2-9527, alias the respectful shadow who exercises intensely. Below the ominous text, Jiang Yu stands in a shadowy silhouette, his eyes glowing with an intense, otherworldly power. The system report details the creature's characteristics. It is completely black, resembling a shadow, and was first discovered in the Xingyue Residential Center. Below the text, shadowy figures are seen intensely exercising with various gym equipment, visually confirming the creature's alias. The report further explains that when approached by explorers, the creature ceases its exercise to offer a greeting. A risk assessment shows a low threat level with no kill record currently, despite a 2-hour observation duration. 3 white-suited figures cautiously observe the respectful shadow. Pink-haired woman with a serious expression informs a brown-haired man that a monitoring team found a peculiar being near the residential area. She notes that there are no records of such a creature in their database and seeks his opinion. The brown-haired man's face contorts in a grimace of shock and confusion, questioning the nature of this strange creature. The scene shifts to a vast cityscape under a moonlit night shrouded in an ominous shadow layer, hinting at the mysterious events unfolding within its depths. Monstrous, glowing red spider-like creature looms large. The narration describes its immense size and protein content, stating it is several times heavier than the same amount of rice. Jiang Yu peeks from behind a wall, holding his phone. His screen displays information about spider meat being tender and delicious, suggesting methods to prepare it by grilling to remove its hairs and describing its unique taste. Jiang Yu observes his phone, noticing the increasing popularity of snapshots from the shadow layer scenery. He muses that it won't be long until the person capturing these images becomes famous online. Close-up of Jiang Yu's phone reveals a live stream of the red spider creature, filled with numerous viewers. He expresses surprise at the sudden surge of content about exceptional abilities, noting that such publications were previously forbidden. Suddenly, Jiang Yu is thrown into a cartoonish state of shock, dropping his phone as an unseen force or revelation hits him, eliciting an exclamation of surprise. Jiang Yu's eyes snap open, glowing with an intense yellow light as a sharp ding sound effect signals a critical system notification. System window appears, detailing his new attributes, Shadow, Rogue, and Assassin. It delivers a chilling message. If you don't go hunting, you will die. No hunting is worse than death. When you wake up in this place, you'll be exceedingly happy. Know that by continuing to kill, you can continue living. Go, enjoy every hunting operation, and be a hunter who makes everyone tremble to reach a higher level. Jiang Yu, now in a chibi style, angrily clenches his fist, demanding if the system's only purpose is to frighten him with such dire pronouncements. His eyes widen in disbelief as he utters a simple, confused "huh," grappling with the sudden, overwhelming information. Jiang Yu's hands reach out as a new system notification flashes. Remaining lifespan, 100 hours, a shocking revelation that leaves him stunned. A thought bubble appears, filled with chaotic energy, as Jiang Yu desperately ponders the fate of his life, now seemingly measured in hours. His face contorts in pure horror and disbelief as he questions the system, realizing he has only 100 hours left to live. Jiang Yu holds his phone, looking utterly distraught, surrounded by multiple repeating system notifications of his 100-hour remaining lifespan. He desperately questions why the system is showing him such a terrifying countdown. His eyes burn with anger and frustration as he connects this predicament to the previous warning about certain risks from opening the Assassin website, accusing the system of calling this catastrophic consequence a mere risk. Taking deep breaths, Jiang Yu attempts to calm himself, reasoning that there must be a way to correct this dire situation and not to jump to conclusions. Jiang Yu looks contemplative, confirming his understanding of the system's description. As a hunter, he must continue hunting to extend his life. His hand points decisively at the system screen, solidifying his conclusion. His life can only be prolonged by killing strange creatures. A system box reiterates that life and death are in the assassin's hands, hinting at immortality through endless killing. Jiang Yu, with a surprised expression, confirms his interpretation that hunting is the key to achieving immortality. Another system message reveals that even if the body disappears, another form of existence will remain for a hunter. Jiang Yu points at an illustrative diagram, questioning the meaning of this other form of existence after the body's demise. Jiang Yu throws his hands up in frustration, exclaiming his inability to be exceedingly happy in this situation. He considers seeking help from Mr. Li if he fails to kill a strange creature, revealing his desperation. The massive red spider creature reappears, and Jiang Yu, now resolute, declares his intention to kill it first to buy himself more time. Jiang Yu sets his phone up to record, seizing the rare opportunity to capture videos and make himself famous. He confidently states that his secret account, obtained from Mr. Li of the Night Patrol Bureau, ensures no fear of discovery. With a surge of blue energy, Jiang Yu transforms into his shadowy form, declaring himself the Shadow as he prepares for battle. Close-up shows a finger pressing a button on a phone, accompanied by a distinct click sound, initiating the recording. Jiang Yu's phone displays a live stream featuring himself in his shadowy form alongside the giant spider. A viewer named Xiao Yu comments about strange monkey coins. Jiang Yu announces his perilous situation to his audience, stating that it's just a large spider and himself. The live stream audience erupts with awe, praising Jiang Yu's majestic and powerful presence as he faces the colossal spider. Comments flood in, questioning the reality of the intense scene. In his shadowy form, Jiang Yu cautions his unseen audience to remain silent. He plans a stealthy approach, intending to strike the massive spider without warning. Jiang Yu continues his silent advance, emphasizing the need for absolute quiet as he draws ever nearer to the slumbering giant spider, determined not to rouse it prematurely. A system prompt details Jiang Yu's weapon, a solid iron stick purchased for thousands, now augmented with metal pieces at its tip, ready for impact. Suddenly, the giant spider's monstrous face fills the frame, its mandibles twitching as a menacing red energy pulses around it, hinting at its awakening. Jiang Yu stands poised, his shadowy form barely visible as the colossal spider begins to stir, its massive body shifting with an ominous, low rumble. With a swift, decisive motion, Jiang Yu raises his reinforced iron stick, preparing to deliver a powerful blow against the still-stirring, glowing spider. Jiang Yu's shadowy form reveals beads of sweat, his heart pounding intensely as the giant spider's massive leg looms dangerously close, a moment of pure tension. Silent question hangs over Jiang Yu as he observes the spider's colossal limb, a hint of confusion or strategic thought in his shadowy form. Jiang Yu internally praises his shadow form's utility, noting the spider's inability to detect him even at such close proximity. He then resolves to activate his assassination skill to pinpoint the creature's weak point. Jiang Yu unleashes a rapid series of strikes, his weapon connecting with the giant spider as bursts of purple energy erupt from the impact points. A sudden, brilliant light pierces through the darkness, revealing a critical weak point on the spider's massive form, prompting Jiang Yu's exclamatory discovery. Engulfed in a fierce blue aura, Jiang Yu grins menacingly, declaring his intent to inflict a painful blow as he prepares to strike the identified weak point. Rewinding to half an hour prior, the giant spider rests peacefully amidst a vibrant urban landscape, reflecting on its time in this new world and its contentment with the environment. The spider muses on its new existence, finding solace in the absence of the abyss's crushing pressure and the relative lack of terrifying creatures. It believes simple caution is enough for its survival as a weak being. The spider recalls a recent skirmish with a fellow, albeit ugly, member of its species. Despite sustaining injuries, the encounter proved to be a satisfying meal. Confident in its regenerative abilities, the spider anticipates fully recovering its strength after a few more periods of rest. Suddenly, the giant spider's eyes snap open, a clear expression of surprise and confusion spreading across its face as it senses something amiss. Its spider sense flares violently, and the creature realizes with alarm that a child is actively targeting it, disrupting its peaceful slumber. Giant spider frantically scans its surroundings, perplexed by the vanishing presence it had just detected, wondering where the perceived threat has gone. Jiang Yu's shadowy form remains unseen. Concluding that its current location is no longer safe, the giant spider begins to move, deciding to find a new, more secure spot to continue its rest. Just as it prepares to relocate, the giant spider suddenly reacts, a sharp "ah" escaping its thoughts as it senses an immediate, unexpected presence. A blinding flash of light and a violent explosion engulf the giant spider as it cries out in pain, struck by a devastating, unseen force. Electric blue lightning crackles and surges around the giant spider, causing immense damage as it convulses under the powerful shock. Jiang Yu observes the electrocuted spider, noting with wonder the shadow points seeping from his own body. He ponders if being struck in specific areas is the key to unlocking his full power. The chilling smile, Jiang Yu declares that after the spider's excessive blood loss, only 40% of its strength will remain. He then contemplates delivering another 2 decisive blows. Jiang Yu's glowing eyes narrow, a single, chilling word escaping his lips as he considers inflicting even more punishment. More! Suddenly, a devastating red energy beam lances out, striking Jiang Yu directly and engulfing him in a powerful explosion of light and force. As the smoke clears, Jiang Yu emerges, remarkably unfazed by the direct hit. He dismisses the powerful attack with a casual, "This doesn't hurt." The giant spider stares in disbelief at Jiang Yu, who stands defiantly small against its colossal form. A chilling, triumphant laugh echoes from Jiang Yu, signaling his utter dominance. Very good. Directing the iron rod toward his weak point made him continuously lose blood. Surge of raw power erupts, crackling with intense blue energy. Jiang Yu unleashes his shadow attack, a torrent of dark energy swirling around him, crackling with electric blue power. The dark energy coalesces, forming tendrils that lash out as Jiang Yu moves with blinding speed. Is this the shadow attack? It seems it can sneak into darkness like a thief under the ground. There's no need to engage in direct combat with these strange creatures. Just wait patiently for the opportunity like a hunter in a forest. Then deliver a fatal blow to the prey. Different types, supernatural. Hunter, prey? The pursuit has begun. Night Patrol, your safety guarded by the Night Patrol. Hello everyone, I'm a Night Patrol officer on duty. Today, let me give you a preliminary explanation about low-level strange creatures. Hello everyone, today, let me take you on a tour of a hidden small restaurant in the alleyway. I am the evildoer, I am Jia de Meng. Hello everyone, I will perform a fantastic trick for my family. This chapter is brought to you by ozualiscanescn.com. Please support the website by reading the chapter there and avoid reading it from pirated websites to ensure its continuity. Look at this lighter. Comrades, watch me as I embrace it and the story ends. What's this? Hasn't the live streaming community produced any interesting content lately? So boring. A close-up on the eyes reveals a mix of boredom and curiosity. Leveling up by killing gods. My name is Yu, from the northern capital. A sudden explosion of energy engulfs the city as 2 shadowy figures clash amidst the skyscrapers. Was that a strange creature? Oh my, is it real? Could it be special effects, right? This creature is called the Shadow Spider, an ancient demonic type, a low-level creature from the abyss. My brother Yu is handsome and aloof. Oh no, I'm in love with him. I want to buy a set for my brother Yu, but unfortunately, I can't afford the cost. I want my brother Yu to buy me a portion of spicy fried pork. The patterns on his body can emit spiritual pollution, so they shouldn't be staked at as low-level creatures for too long. A bunch of show-offs posting their disgusting comments and pretending online. Let your classmates and fathers see it. I disdain your arrogant behavior. A chibi-style close-up shows an exaggerated angry expression. The screen shows a message, "Brother, I can." An exclamation mark appears, signaling an imminent threat or revelation. Disappeared? Could this announcer be a type of exceptional being? Things are getting more interesting. A massive, terrifying creature erupts in a blinding flash of red and purple energy, its form contorting with immense power. Dark silhouette lunges forward, ready to strike. K-dash. The clash of powers creates a blinding explosion of light and energy, shattering the surroundings. Raw power unleashed obliterates everything in its path. A monstrous, spider-like entity pulses with violet and red energy, shrouded in dark smoke. The creature's terrifying maw gapes open, unleashing a blast of purple energy as a red beam strikes nearby. It seems to react with surprise, indicated by the above its head. Silhouette, possibly Jiang Yu, points a glowing finger directly at the creature's face, a sharp impact indicated by a small starburst. The creature roars, enveloped in a cage of crackling red energy, its spiked form menacing. Jiang Yu appears, silhouetted and radiating blue energy, striking a victory pose. He announces, "I'm here." He seems to be taunting his opponents. Jiang Yu dodges a flurry of attacks, surrounded by golden energy, while the spider-like creature, now with 8 legs, expresses frustration. Jiang Yu taunts, "Come on, once again you didn't hit me," and he, "Even with 8 legs, you didn't hit me. Are you too weak?" A woman with long silver hair looks intently at a smartphone. Wrapped in blankets, the silver-haired woman, identified as Lu Yao, smiles at her phone. She comments, "Very fast, and quite attractive too, and this guy is truly fast and incredibly handsome." A massive explosion of purple energy erupts, centered around a powerful entity. The energy seems to emanate from a vortex. Viscous, purple substance flows across a dark, textured surface. The spider-like creature is at the center of a swirling purple vortex on the ground, emitting a powerful aura. The creature's monstrous face, adorned with sharp teeth and spikes, glows with intense energy. Cute flowers are superimposed around it, creating a jarring contrast. Creature, glowing with energy, addresses someone. Did you think you'd stay safe by immersing the ground in citrus? Jiangyu stands on top of a building, surrounded by blue energy. Below, the massive creature roars, seemingly surprised by his presence on the rooftop. Jiangyu, a dark silhouette crackling with blue lightning, speaks with glowing white eyes. No place is devoid of shadow. Jiangyu is engulfed in a swirling vortex of blue energy, preparing for an attack. The creature's mouth is open, receiving a powerful blast of purple energy as it clashes with the surrounding fiery aura. A small, glowing spider-like entity is at the center of a purple vortex on the ground, emitting flames. Jiangyu, silhouetted and surrounded by blue energy, states, "But I can freely roam within it." Jiangyu, enveloped in blue energy, declares, "I can move freely, teleport, and leap." Jiangyu, radiating blue energy, states, "I am the hunter emerging from the midst of shadow." Spider-like creature, still glowing with energy, asks, "My name is..." A shadowy figure with glowing white eyes emerges from swirling purple energy. The figure declares, "Why you?" A dark, shadowy figure with glowing white eyes is surrounded by purple and blue energy, with small, bubble-like shapes floating around. Dark, apartment-like building stands against a backdrop of a starry, green sky. Jiangyu, silhouetted and radiating blue energy, faces the massive, glowing spider-like creature. He states, "Shadow swallowing." Jiangyu, surrounded by blue energy, is engulfed by the tendrils of the massive creature's shadowy form. The scene takes place in an urban environment at night. Jiangyu, a dark silhouette crackling with blue lightning, is shown in a close-up, his eyes glowing intensely. Jiangyu, a dark silhouette crackling with blue lightning, is shown in a close-up, his eyes glowing intensely. Voice exclaims, "Oh my goodness, is this a superhero movie? Is this real? Not just special effects in movies? Truly amazing, isn't it? Brother you, I love you." A young girl with striking silver hair holds a white card close to her chest. Lying on her stomach, the girl with silver hair looks up with wide, glowing eyes, exclaiming, "Exciting, so exciting. I haven't seen something this interesting for a long time." Finger hovers over a social media profile labeled The Killer YU, showing 722,000 likes and 89,000 followers. Below, a comment reads, following, I must follow him." A finger presses the follow button on a screen displaying, "Where can I find someone entertaining like him?" On a phone screen displaying The Killer YU and Fan Group, a message is sent, "Hello, can I add a star to the assassination mission with a high reward?" A system interface details a shadow spider, a first-class low-level abyssal creature. Its abilities include acid, web release, and ancient demon corruption. The kill cost is sensory disruption, yielding shadow silk and increasing shadow points. Jiangyu, cloaked in shadow and crackling with blue energy, contemplates a card, thinking, "Just a small rank 1 ordinary monster? I thought I defeated a powerful enemy." Jiangyu stands in an alleyway, his silhouette outlined in blue lightning. As he muses, "In terms of strength, there's still a big gap between me and those creatures, but I gained the shadow attack." Holding a phone, Jiangyu's shadowy form is illuminated by its glow. A speech bubble pops up. Wow, number of viewers, 1.5 million. With a wide, sinister grin and glowing eyes, Jiangyu declares, "The live stream has ended. That's all for today," leaving some suspense to whet the audience's appetite. Jiangyu focuses on a swirling blue energy in his hand, a single tear rolling down his cheek as he questions, "Is this black line shadow silk?" Jiangyu's hand, crackling with blue lightning, reaches out, directing a beam of energy towards a distant skyscraper. A chibi-style Jiangyu, glowing with blue energy, flies through the air, firing a beam from his fist. Jiangyu unleashes a torrent of blue lightning, swinging a glowing whip-like energy. He cries out, "Hua!" With a maniacal laugh, Jiangyu's eyes blaze with power, and he shouts, "Ha ha ha, I am Spider-Man." Jiangyu's face, split down the middle with a yellow and blue aura, is pressed against a cracked wall emitting blue lightning. A question mark and exclamation point appear. A shadowy figure descends from above as Jiangyu plummets towards the ground, enveloped in blue lightning. Jiangyu lands on a street lamp, his body glowing with blue energy. He winces, saying, "Oh, that hurts. I need to practice using this shadow silk more." Jiangyu kneels, interacting with a holographic interface that displays remaining lifespan 7 days. He notes, only added 3 days to my life? It's less than I expected. Looking out over the city, Jiangyu muses, although there are still 7 days left, these creatures aren't available every day. What if I can't find them? A system notification reads, Reminder 3, the hidden hunter in the shadows enhances your special fame, and you'll be able to receive unexpected rewards. Below, Jiangyu looks surprised as another notification appears. Due to the spread of your reputation, some hunter powers will be unlocked. A system prompt explains the mark ability. You can mark the prey, making it easier to discover its weaknesses and exploit them. The prey that's marked will experience negative conditions like palpitations and fear based on the power gap between both sides. It also notes that only one target can be tagged at a time and the mark lasts for 1 second, consuming energy. The system explains the hunt. Capture the marked prey, and you'll be granted agility and strength. If the hunt succeeds, one of your traits/abilities will be enhanced. It also states hunting is free and lasts as long as the mark. Jiangyu covers his mouth, pondering, does unlocking hunter powers have something to do with the spread of my negative reputation? When did my negative reputation spread? Jiangyu's eyes glow intensely as he looks forward, a notification appearing, number of viewers, 1.5 million. He wonders, is this because of the previous live stream? In a cute chibi style, Jiangyu grins mischievously, thinking, hunt different types, edit videos, gather skills, and unlock new abilities. After this series of operations, my abilities and strength rose to unexpected levels. Jiangyu walks forward, surrounded by crackling blue energy, a confident smile on his face. He exclaims, Fantastic, let's do some extra work today. Flash of red energy crosses the screen as Jiangyu prepares for another move. A monstrous, purple-armored entity materializes, its eyes glowing with intense red energy. It has found something. A powerful surge of blue energy erupts, illuminating the urban landscape. Jiangyu unleashes his power, crackling with blue and red energy. A shadowy figure emerges, its eyes burning with malevolent intent. Lu Yao recoils, clutching her arm. Ouch, it hurts, she exclaims. Below, Jiangyu looks on, his expression a mix of concern and annoyance. Lu Yao questions him, why weren't you honest and stayed at home? Who did you go fight with? Jiangyu retorts, be gentle, I went out to be a hero, don't talk if you don't understand. Lu Yao, unconvinced, asks, is that so? Which hero do you know that is covered in injuries every day? Jiangyu, cleaning his teeth, dismisses her concerns. You're just showing off without any real skills. He explains, these minor injuries can be healed in no time with my shadow form. Lu Yao, standing beside him, reveals her true intention. I didn't heal them on purpose for you to help me apply medicine. Lu Yao, with a playful smile, asks, what are you mumbling about by yourself? Jiangyu takes a swig from his bottle, casually replying, nothing. Have there been any interesting movies lately? Let's find one to go watch. Lu Yao, however, dismisses his suggestion. They're all bad movies, nothing worth watching. Lu Yao scrolls through her phone, finding something intriguing. But there's an interesting YouTuber recently, she says, showing it to Jiangyu. Jiangyu leans in, intrigued. YouTuber? Lu Yao pulls out her phone, eager to show him. Let me show you. On the screen, a shadowy figure with glowing eyes appears, introducing itself as a memory loss assassin from the shadows. Jiangyu sputters in surprise, spraying water from his bottle as Lu Yao holds up the phone. Lu Yao looks at Jiangyu, amused. What's wrong with you? Why are you so excited? Jiangyu, flustered, stammers, and nothing. Have you been watching this video recently? Lu Yao beams. Of course, it made it to the trending list in just 2 days. She excitedly declares, now this Yu has become the most popular supernatural blogger. Jiangyu, looking slightly uneasy, muses, is that so? Quite impressive, but isn't it illegal to disclose this supernatural knowledge? He then adds with a nervous laugh, I got famous too fast. I won't be targeted by the night watchman, right? Lu Yao's expression shifts, her eyes narrowing slightly. What shouldn't be disclosed is the core knowledge, she explains. What everyone can see now is just the basics, it doesn't have much impact. Lu Yao excitedly points to something. Look, this is his real combat video with the mutants. Lu Yao leans closer to Jiangyu, holding his phone. Aren't you interested in the supernatural? You can follow him. Jiangyu looks at the phone, then at Lu Yao. She points out, look, there's another video about him, but it's a fan creation by another blogger. Jiangyu's eyes widen slightly as he looks at the phone. Lu Yao, engrossed in her phone, seems to be planning something. Lu Yao strikes a confident pose. Hey, Jiangyu, do you think I can record some videos and upload them? What if I become popular too? She winks playfully. Geez, you better be watching this on ozelskansen.com. Jiang Yu looks at her, a hint of amusement in his eyes. Record what? Dress up in a JKT outfit and dance in the shadow layer? Lu Yao, now in a chibi form, protests, get lost. Can't I record some videos explaining the supernatural? Jiang Yu, also in chibi form, retorts, do you think you can compete with? Jiang Yu continues, his chibi form looking innocent. Those experienced night patrol seniors just by reading some information? Lu Yao blushes, her hand touching her skirt. Also, next time, don't dress like this when going out. You might be easily tracked by stalkers. She then adds, last time I lost one. Jiang Yu crosses his arms, a sly smile on his face. Lu Yao looks at him, a mischievous glint in her eyes. Lost one? Jiang Yu looks away, a bead of sweat on his forehead. Lu Yao, now holding a pistol, points it at him. Lu Yao's hand grips the pistol, its metallic glint sharp against the fabric of Jiang Yu's shirt. Lu Yao's eyes widen, her voice sharp with accusation. Are these injuries of yours from getting beaten while stalking JK girls? Jiang Yu throws his hands up defensively, his expression a mix of surprise and exasperation. Hey, I was just joking. Who knows if it's true or not? Lu Yao retorts, her grip tightening on the firearm. Lu Yao pushes Jiang Yu back, the pistol still aimed. Spare me, Officer Lu. Jiang Yu pleads. No way, I'm punishing you by making you cook for me, Lu Yao declares. Jiang Yu recoils onto the couch, phone in hand, a startled O escaping him. Jiang Yu checks his phone, a relieved sigh escaping him. Phew, finally got rid of her. He then pauses, a questioning him on his lips. A series of messages flood Jiang Yu's phone. Questions about a video, a query about being a night patrolman, a request for more pictures, and even a recipe for braised pork. He muses, wow, so many private messages in just a short time. Looks like I'm really popular. Jiang Yu stares at his phone, a bewildered crossing his face. Messages scroll by, accusing him of being exposed, calling his video fake, and questioning why he's compared to real night patrolmen. One message demands, come out, stop pretending to be dead. You who only knows how to edit videos. Come out and face me. Jiang Yu mutters, what is this, fake video? Jiang Yu's finger hovers over a website address, www.354afae. A video begins, the speaker introducing himself. Hello everyone, I'm Real Deal. Today, instead of exploring shops, I'll take you to expose the truth. An older man, holding a phone displaying a video and a fan with Chinese characters, addresses his audience. Have you all seen this video? That you, strange creature, Pa, is he the one? He continues, shadow layer, different species, an assassin who has lost his memory. Hey, take a look for yourself. Does this video look real? The older man points to the screen. Let's start with an eye-opening video for you, and then let's use the computer to watch frame by frame. Below, the narration explains, everyone, take a look at these two still frames first. Notice anything? The lack of continuity between the two frames is obvious, indicating that it has been edited. Take a look at this background. It's obviously been edited to cover up the unrealistic parts. Jiang Yu watches the video, a frown on his face. Isn't this blogger usually a food blogger who goes to various restaurants to check in? Why is he trying to ride on my popularity? Besides, I just cut out a few embarrassing scenes and I'm getting criticized for it? The older man continues, his expression smug. Why am I targeting this person today? Look at this. I am the real Night Patrol member. He boasts, back when I was young, I killed countless monsters, so I can easily recognize clowns like him. Alright, I've said enough. I advise certain people to take care of themselves. Jiang Yu's finger taps on the comments section label on his phone. Comments flood in. This is a real scene. The shadows and monsters are real. How did it become a fake video? Then why was it edited? If the background is fake, it shows that the author has something to hide. What's wrong with editing? Editing doesn't necessarily mean it's fake. I see there are indeed some major issues with a few shots. That game doesn't have any real skills, just seeking attention. Exactly. Brother Dao is the real deal. He's the true boss of the Night Patrol. Jiang Yu scoffs. Go ahead and criticize. Back when I used to draw comics, I was also led by a bunch of boring people. He continues, the truth is, only when the tide recedes can we see who's swimming naked. Jiang Yu stretches on the couch, a determined look on his face. Since you said my video is fake, then I will go hunt down another mutant and earn some more lifespan. He turns to his phone, a sly smile playing on his lips. But before that, I have to make it clear with that guy from the underground. Voice booms. He owes us an apology. Fake transcendent blogger. Another exclaims. Shocking. You have this side too? Evidence is questionable. Your video is not simple. Who is you after all? He is definitely not an ordinary person. Jiang Yu stands amidst a digital vortex, declaring, just an ordinary person, speaking the truth. A voice then cries out, World of Shadows. The scene shifts to a dark, urban landscape illuminated by flickering lights and shadowed by looming structures. A hand points, revealing a miniature camera. Jiang Yu's silhouette stands stark against a backdrop of industrial decay, his eyes glowing with an intense, otherworldly light. He surveys the desolate, multi-layered structure below. Feels like there are fewer than yesterday. The shadow layer resets after a certain period of time. There were a lot at the beginning. Jiang Yu's glowing eyes narrow in thought. A monstrous figure, shrouded in purple energy and chains, emerges from the darkness. Looks like there's an old six here, waiting to ambush other mutants. Jiang Yu grins, gripping a baseball bat. Let me show you what a real old six is. With a primal yell, Jiang Yu leaps into action. Hunting begins. Jiang Yu's silhouette, crackling with blue energy, lands with a decisive thud. High above, a lone figure stands silhouetted against the night sky atop a towering building. His face, a stark silhouette against glowing white eyes, emits a guttural sound. Jiang Yu descends a darkened stairwell, a faint blue aura pulsing around him. A voice echoes, "Stay steady, don't be reckless." A system notification appears, "Powerful assassin hunting mutants, X versus newbie transcendent climbing stairs." Terrifying, spectral figure cloaked in purple energy drifts into view, its form skeletal and menacing. The entity's skull-like face, adorned with sharp teeth and glowing purple energy, fills the frame. Jiang Yu's eyes blaze with intense blue light as a voice calls out, "Mark." The purple entity whirls within a glowing circle, its scythe-like appendages poised for attack. A question mark and exclamation point appear. Entity's chilling voice states, "It's effective. The one who is marked will feel inexplicable fear in an instant." The entity's voice continues, "By the way, this guy looks a lot like the scythe monster I encountered before. Is it an evolved form?" Below, the monstrous form is revealed in its full, terrifying glory. Jiang Yu, surrounded by crackling blue energy, retorts with a defiant smirk, "Humph, so what? I have also evolved." The purple entity, now at 45% health, unleashes a barrage of attacks, its monstrous form filling the screen. Jiang Yu's foot, encased in a glowing blue boot, prepares to strike. Jiang Yu leaps into the air, a trail of blue energy following him, while the purple entity ascends to meet him. A system message flashes, "Seize the opportunity. Initiate the hunt," followed by, "Mark activated, hunt initiated." Jiang Yu's eyes glow intensely as energy surges around him. Clash of their powers erupts in a blinding explosion of blue and purple energy. Jiang Yu's eyes burn with fierce determination. The purple entity, now with a monstrous, multi-limbed form and a grotesque tongue, looms over Jiang Yu. Jiang Yu's boot lands with a powerful impact, blue energy radiating outwards. The two combatants engage in a furious exchange, their powers clashing in a spectacular display of light and energy. Jiang Yu dodges a massive energy blast from the purple entity, retaliating with his own offensive. Close-up reveals the terrifying maw of the purple entity, dripping with a strange substance. The purple entity unleashes a devastating wave of energy, forcing Jiang Yu to defend. The entity's monstrous form is shown in full, its jaws wide open as it prepares to strike. Jiang Yu clutches his head, disoriented. "My head feels dizzy. This guy can also launch mental attacks." Jiang Yu crosses his weapons, a powerful stance as he prepares for his next move. Jiang Yu's eyes widen in surprise, a question hanging in the air. Jiang Yu lunges forward, his movements a blur of motion as he prepares to strike. Jiang Yu's eyes glow with an intense blue light as he checks his status. "Impressive," he mutters, a hint of surprise in his voice. "Just like that, it took away 34% of my health." A monstrous entity, wreathed in purple energy, materializes. Its skeletal face and scythe-like appendages radiate a terrifying aura. Creature's menacing form looms, its scythe crackling with power. "This guy is a high-damage, agile, and fragile assassin." Jiang Yu observes, his gaze sharp. A cunning smile plays on Jiang Yu's lips, his eyes glowing with determination. "I need to use some strategy." Jiang Yu's body erupts with dark, shadowy energy, tendrils of power lashing out as he transforms, a fierce resolve in his eyes. The battlefield explodes with purple energy as the monstrous entity unleashes a barrage of attacks. Jiang Yu, now a shadowy silhouette, dodges with incredible speed, a taunt escaping him. Hey, you can't hit me." Air crackles with raw power as purple energy surges, engulfing the surroundings in a chaotic storm of light and shadow. Jiang Yu's shadowy form weaves through the onslaught. The monstrous entity's attacks intensify, a maelstrom of purple energy erupting around it. Jiang Yu's silhouette is barely visible amidst the chaos. The monstrous entity, wreathed in a terrifying purple aura, lunges forward, its scythes poised to strike. In the background, Jiang Yu observes his silhouette a stark contrast. Monstrous entity's scythes lash out, narrowly missing Jiang Yu, who appears to be caught off guard. The entity prepares for another devastating strike. The monstrous entity unleashes a furious assault, its form contorting as it strikes. Jiang Yu's shadowy form is engulfed in the violent energy. Triumphant, chilling grin spreads across Jiang Yu's shadowy face. "Fool, you fell for it." Jiang Yu moves with blinding speed, his foot a blur as he initiates a counterattack. The monstrous entity, surrounded by a torrent of energy, declares, "Even if you're highly skilled, you can't escape or fight your way out of here. This is my territory now. Today, you won't be able to escape with your wings clipped." The monstrous entity's form pulses with raw power, its energy blasts radiating outwards, trapping Jiang Yu in a devastating onslaught. The monstrous entity's terrifying visage fills the frame, its jaws agape as it unleashes a concentrated burst of energy. The entity's energy crescendos, its form a swirling vortex of purple power. Jiang Yu, however, remains unfazed, a smirk on his face. Jiang Yu unleashes a powerful counterattack, his fist crackling with blue energy, shattering the entity's offensive. Still using this trick, he scoffs. "No chance." Jiang Yu's relentless assault bombards the monstrous entity, overwhelming its defenses with a barrage of powerful blows. The monstrous entity's form begins to break apart under the assault, its purple energy flickering and dissipating. Jiang Yu assumes a powerful stance, his hands raised, a vortex of red energy forming beneath him. "Die," he declares, ready to unleash a finishing blow. The monstrous entity's distorted face contorts in shock and disbelief. "You are that night watchman." Jiang Yu's eyes glow intensely as he ponders the revelation. How is this possible? Wasn't he taken away by the night watchman? Why has it turned out like this? And why is he appearing here? Night Watchman, now revealed, unleashes a powerful attack, striking the monstrous entity. A pained cry escapes the entity. H. The monstrous entity reels from the unexpected attack, its form faltering. It cries out as the Night Watchman looms over it. "Stop!" Jiang Yu turns and flees, a desperate urgency in his stride. "I have something to tell you. Stop." Camera pans across a desolate urban landscape under a starry night sky, focusing on utility poles and distant buildings, hinting at a desolate atmosphere. The image shows a close-up of a silhouette, suggesting a moment of contemplation or exhaustion, accompanied by a sigh. A close-up on Jiang Yu's feet as he stands, his posture suggesting weariness. A soft sigh escapes him.